The time has come. Ivan Bulcrum. Bongo tap, bongo tap, bongo tap, bongo tap, bongo tap.
Didn't see that one coming, did you?
More hype necessary.
Here for some suck.
I mean, is it one of those mornings? All right. All right. Welcome back, streamer, everybody. Welcome back to the VOD. I just did hail dice. Fuck, it is one of those mornings. Oh God. Hello. What's going on, everyone? Thank you for the hype train that had alerts that I heard from the other room. All right, the other room. That's right. I could hear it through my headset in the other fucking room. So, Jesus, man. Thank you, Miss Pritt, for the 24 months, 2 years sub. Thank you, Penguin, for the 30 months at tier 2. Jesus. You guys need to relax. That's a long time, bro. Thank you, Miss Print, for that 1,500 bits. Hello? We haven't done shit today. What do you mean 1,500 bit? Okay. I'm calm today. I appreciate that. Even though I don't deserve that. I appreciate it. Thank you, Aduria, for the 700 bits. If only you didn't miss those last 10, and you just 10 bits away from not reminding me that that's an alert. What a great way to start a morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Drake. Good morning, Atari. Kitty, remember when Evan used to be Floor Evan? Listen, I still indulge in the floor once in a while. Okay, once in a while, you'll find me on the floor. Don't think I'm above it. All right. What's up, Knight? Good to see you, Sienna. What's going on, guys? What's up? How's it going, everybody? Viddy, Blaze, what's going on, bros? Azura, hey guys, good to see y'all. Good to see you all. It is indeed Thursday, a brand new day and a brand new era. For today, I have decided it is time for a new era.
How are we all doing? Evan, how is the Astral Knight?
I'll wait.
Have you done any world building lately?
Yeah, we did a lot yesterday. Cobalt, where the fuck were you? What do you mean have I done any world building lately? All right, I appreciate the 43 months. Yes, I have, indeed. And today we're going to do some more. Today is going to be a bit of a return to old form for a bit of a new area, a new place, a new time period, a new epoch. I want to explore something. Part of fantasy that I really adore. I feel like we've been lacking in Eldara. But we'll talk about it. We'll get into it, all right? We'll get into it. Yesterday we did the Astral Knight. We did some deep work on it, actually. So I appreciate everyone who was there for that, who helped out with the development of the Astral Knight class. I wrote some stuff down, you know, and I realized I don't have any idea what kind of spells the Astral Knight's gonna have past like 6. And I feel like I need to have like maybe 20 in total. So maybe we'll do some of that work over the weekend. I don't know, man. Maybe I'll write some stuff down. The beta test channel will arrive soon, but until then, I guess you'll just have to take my word for it. Captain Drake, if only that was Green Dragon check, then I would be forced to draw a Green Dragon. So, damn, bro. You just wasted everybody's D100s for the next 10 Green Dragon checks, and I appreciate it. Thanks, bro. That's damn right. Are they full casters? They're not full casters. Full casters are garbage. Who plays a full caster in D&D? The only thing worse than a full caster in D&D is a cleric player. You know how I feel about clerics and cleric players. They need a hug, man. Nothing wrong with cleric players. They just really need a hug. And if you know a cleric in your life, go give them a hug. They're going through some shit. That's why they're playing cleric in D&D. So, you know, just be a good human, right? Good morning, Thorkin. What is up, bro? Yes. So, anyway, we are going to be developing the Astral Knight class. I am planning on the Astral Knight and the Astral Sage by the end of the month being officially playable. That is my goal. That is my goal. I think we're going to do it based off of a Google Doc. I think that's what we agreed on yesterday. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see if anybody gets to play it in their homebrew setting or in their game or whatever, man. Because I just really want people to test out the Astral Sage and the Astral Knight. And if if nobody gets a chance to playtest it, I'll have to make it as a custom class mod for Baldur's Gate 3. All right? Because if we can't play D&D, what do? That's right, we play Baldur's Gate 3. Even though I haven't finished the game. I might actually finish the game on stream. I've thought about that. I've considered it. I keep wanting to play it, but I never have an excuse to. And I think I might add an extra stream day for a little while and play some Baldur's Gate on stream, and then I'll get to finish it, and y'all get to tell me that I missed everything, and I'll redo it again. This time I'll play with Blaze and Ella and Thorkin. I was gonna say Cobalt, but Cobalt doesn't have time to play video games, so I don't know who else would. I'd say Guapo, but he doesn't want to play games with me. I don't, so I don't. I gotta find some Baldur's Gate friends. What if we're the cleric? Viddy, if you're the cleric, then I want you to know I love and support you, and whatever you're dealing with in life, I think, I believe in you. I know you can get through this, and just remember, you won't be playing cleric forever. Clerics are temporary phases we go through when we're in pain, and eventually you will master whatever your circumstances are. You will get through them, and you will be better than playing cleric. But for now, I love you, buddy. Paladins are clerics too, who choose violence. Paladins are a cleric who's resolved their issues. Yes, that's correct. I'd rather not hug the cleric player I know personally. I don't know the last time they touched grass. Is the cleric a VTuber? I played a level 20 cleric for a one-shot. Being able to ask God to fix my problems is pretty cool. It is absolutely. There's lots of there are many things about playing cleric that are appealing. Playing clerics are obviously appealing to many people because many people are suffering. Many people are going through some stuff, and if you have a friend and you say to them, hey, we're playing some D&D, what do you want to play? And they say, oh, I'm playing a cleric. That's just, it's not, I don't want to say every cleric player is a cry for help, but let's face it. Have you ever met a cleric player that isn't crying out for help? If you meet one, let me know. What do people play, monks or hunters? Monks or hunters? Monk players, here's the thing. Monk players all wish they went to the gym. Playing a monk is good. Monk players are great because monk players wish they were athletic and went to the gym, and they want to LARP as somebody who is. So the first stage and step in your physical wellness and health journey before actually going to the gym, making some changes in your life, is thinking about it. So monk players, I support them. However, monk players, sometimes they get too deep into the fantasy, and then they get too satisfied and fulfilled with themselves in game, and that doesn't work out in real life. So monk players, they need some encouragement. Monk players need some encouragement, and hunters. Hunter Ranger archetypes. I've played World of Warcraft for almost 20 years now. November will be the 19-year anniversary for World of Warcraft. That's right, 19 years of World of Warcraft. So I played with hunters for 19 years, and if there's one thing I've learned about a hunter, is that it is all hunters are bad. So it's fine to be bad at a game, but all hunters, all rangers, all players who use a bow are 75% worse at the game, whatever game they're playing, than they think they are. So just stay away. If you got a friend that's playing a hunter, they're probably going to pull extra shit. If you're playing hardcore, don't queue with a hunter. If you're playing D&D hardcore, don't queue with a ranger. Which, by the way, I want to bring that up to you all. Do you all think that if I introduced a rule set for D&D hardcore, do you think people would enjoy it? Because I've noticed that people take hardcore as a challenge. Now you might be saying to me right now, what's the difference, man? What's hardcore D&D? What is that? Just permadeath? You die, you lose your character? Isn't that just regular D&D? It is, but the difference is, in my perspective, is mostly in the wording. You see, people who hear a game has a hardcore mode take it as a challenge. Right, so we changed nothing about D&D, but we just call it hardcore mode, and we see which players step into the challenge. Me as a cleric, druid main, as stated before, Azura, that's fine. One day you'll be a paladin, a pure paladin. One day you won't need to be a cleric or a druid. And until then, I want you to know you're among friends. You're safe here, and I'm never going to judge you for being a cleric or a druid. I'll allow you to do both things with all the pride and dignity you deserve in the world as a D&D player. So, not a VTuber, not really a gamer either. They just don't do anything at all. I've been playing the exact same cleric character in every single game I've ever played with them. Oh, they need some help. Yeah, they need some. You need to take them out, man. They need some Hooters wings and like a NASCAR or whatever. Monk players are super chill. They got the breathing technique under control. That's true. Monk players are they're one with their Zen focus. All right. It would depend on how it was handled, but I'm up for it. Yeah, it's basically just regular D&D. It's just regular D&D. We just call it hardcore, and we don't let players whine about resing their character. You know, it's like, oh, you died to a kobold. Well, I guess you're dead. Can I res you? I don't know. Do you have a diamond worth 8,000 gold? Really, you just 10x the price of resing, and no one's ever going to res anybody, because let's face it, no D&D party actually cares about any of their members enough to spend that much gold. And I know this is true, because how many of you have died in a D&D game, and the first thing that your fellow players and your friends are doing is trying to figure out how to loot you? You know, because there's always like this awkward like understanding, right? This like awkward understanding of like, oh, a player has just died. We want to give them some time to process their character's death, right? But really, let's face it, you dying in game, all right? It's sad. The cleric in your group cries. The bard keck W's. Eventually, though, the moment passes. Your moment to dramatically, you know, the DM says, as you feel your life force fading away, you have but a few breaths. Are there any last words you want to say to your companions as you see them above you? And as you're being pulled sort of into the netherworld and beyond, and you say your dramatic thing, and then your player characters are all kind of like, well, I mean, he's still at the table, so that's tragic, man. That was tragic. I bet he'd want us to survive the rest of this dungeon, so we should probably see what kind of tools and other useful items he had. Maybe healing potions or herbs of anti-venom. So I'm just gonna take a real quick look in his bag, just real quick. When I look in his bag, what do I find? Just real quick. You know, it's like you try and find your way around looting the dead in your group, and I support it. I think it's great. You know, loot your friends. Like a homie never lets their dead player character go unlooted, right? Unless it's the bard, in which case never let the bard loot you. What's up, Soja? When you die in game, you have to 1v1 your DM IRL. Holy shit! I hope your DM doesn't play a monk. Rip Ranger Cleric mains. It's true. It's true. If your player, if a player is playing a ranger and a cleric, that means they are 70% worse of the game than they think they are. But here's the, you know what the endearing thing about rangers and hunters? At least they know they're bad at the game. Like sorcerer players are all 80 to 95% worse at the game than they actually are, than they think they are. They're actually worse than they think they are. But sorcerer and wizard mains think that they're a lot smarter. Right? How many of you have met a player in your group, either a new player or like maybe one of your friends decides they're going to play a wizard, and you see a new side of them and they suddenly think they're brilliant. They're like the card counting meme from Oceans, or no, not Oceans, Hangover, right? They think they're like this tactical mastermind genius. You know, they put their hood up and they sit back in the chair awaiting their moment to, you know, show off just how genius they are by like twin casting something and spending 3 sorcery points to do absolutely nothing. Let's face it, you know, they think they're a lot better at the game than they actually are. Rangers know they're dog shit, and that's the great thing about them, which is why I tolerate rangers in my games, because at least they know they're bad. They're like, hey, I'm gonna shoot the guard. You're like, what do you mean? Well, the rogue's like trying to pickpocket the key. I'm just gonna shoot the guard. You know the guard is surrounded by 4 other guards, right? And the rogue's trying to get behind them to pickpocket without any of them noticing it and sounding the alarm and alerting the entire dungeon. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot the guard anyway. With like a arrow of silence or darkness? Nah, just a regular arrow. I'm just gonna shoot him. Okay, I guess make an attack roll. And they know you're like, this is a mistake, right? And they're like, yeah, I know. And you're like, okay, fine, sure, man. You know, go for it, right? Oh, you get a natural one, you hit the rogue. Ah, too bad. Make a Constitution saving throw to see if you scream out in pain or not and alert the guards. Yeah, it's true. I feel like that because you can res people, it's impolite to loot someone who will come back. So when do you know? But that's the thing. When do you know that a player is going to come back because you can res? Let's be honest. Because the argument still stands. Like, hey, guys, Sienna has fallen in combat. We need to get her out of here. We need to see if we can res her. But just real quick, I wonder if she has anything in her bags that she'd want us to use to help us get out of here. Yeah, can I just take a quick look at her bag? What do I? Okay, so I find her dagger, her holy symbol. I find a banana peel. That's weird. I find a strange voodoo doll. It looks like Eiley. Okay, what else? Her coin purse, a compass, another dagger. Okay, great. I'm gonna take the voodoo doll, just make sure that maybe it has some warding power on it, and then I'm just gonna take the daggers and the coin purse just to make sure that I'm well protected. The DM's like, sorry, what? You're taking the daggers, the coin purse, and the voodoo doll? Yeah, just to make sure I'm protected. I don't think she had any special like currency, like blood coins on her. I'll just make sure. I'll just take her coin purse and the daggers just to make sure I'm safe, and the voodoo doll. Cool. So listen, there's ways to loot your friends who are dead before they get res, and then it's like, oh wow, I'm resurrected. I've come back to this world. Hey, I see my companions. You've taken some of my things to help ward against evil to get me to this temple where I have been resurrected by great sacrifice and personal burden. Now, those daggers and everything were very special to me. May I please have them back? Oh, sure, yeah, the daggers. So I have in my inventory. I have your daggers. I have voodoo doll. I have your compass. I have your empty coin purse, and I have your potion bottle. So here, I use your potion bottle. So here's the empty potion bottles. Your daggers, your voodoo doll, your compass, and your empty coin purse. And there you go. You can have it all back. You get in there, right? You figure out how to get in there. I guess it's a skill. The wizard players either do that or they make furry / scaly lolly characters. I don't know why you put slash in there. They make all three of them. I've fallen. Res ain't happening because I'm the cleric. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, the best player still there. Basic items. Only. Or things to help the party when the player flips off the table and the storm's off. Fair game. Yeah, no, I agree. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. It's all fair game, man. It's D&D. All is fair in D&D and war. The cleric is not the one who died, which is a miracle. You kill the cleric first, then you loot both the bodies, double the loot. Do you kill the cleric first? So that actually happened in a game when I was in high school. My friend Mary was a cleric, and my friend Yavuz was a rogue. And Mary was like always talking about her desire to be like, she was LARPing or RPing like a super devout pious cleric. She'd always be praying and shit to Pelor or some fucking made up whatever. And my homie, he's like, all right, so I'm gonna try and help her out because she's always trying to be closer to her deity. So what if I send her to her deity and allow her to, to commune with them? And I think our fighter or barbarian in the party was like, okay, what do you have in mind? He's like, so I have this herb, okay, that I'm gonna grind up. And I'm gonna put it in a drink, and I want you to give it to her, and then you don't drink it. Nope, you don't need to see the deity. But you give it to her, and she will then go to her deity. And so he poisoned her and killed her. And we're like, what the fuck, man? He was like, what? She took the sword or whatever it was. She ninja looted something from him, and he was mad about it.
Oh my god! They sent her to Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's you gotta be careful when you're a cleric player. What's up, Sonia? Actually, thoughts on having a character take damage from another? Like my paladin stands in front of the cleric to rank any damage towards them or something like that. Here's the thing. There are mechanics to allow you to do that, right? There are certain mechanics to allow you to take blows. Occasionally, I have allowed in moments of I think that allowing your your players to have moments of like player agency beyond the rules is actually kind of important for storytelling. So once in a while, like if it's like a really important story moment or a really important I don't know, something your character might have the ability to work outside of the rules. Like it makes sense for them to work outside of the rules, right? I you know, if it's cool, it makes sense. I'll always allow it because I think it's dope. Like you know, I had two friends playing, and one of them was like they're playing siblings or whatever, and the younger sibling, you know, or whatever, was about to take like a lethal blow from some like cosmic space ray fireball thing that the evil lich was casting, and the other player was like, dude, is there anything I can do? Like I swore to our dying mother that I would protect him. Like, is there nothing I can do? And I was like, you can probably step in front of it, but I'm not gonna give you a save. And he was like, all right, I'll do it. I'm like, all right. And I used to call them fated actions. You can take a fated action once in a while to do something. Jesus, phone chill. What the fuck? All right. Anyway, they just call them fated actions. So you can take a fated action if it really made sense in the story or to your character or whatever, that, you know, you could do something outside of the rules. It's basically like choose your own rules for an action. You can kind of decide what you want to do if it makes sense. So so that kind of stuff was cool. But aside from just like being a tanky, but one sec. Let me mute everything. All right, we're muted. Anyway, yeah, I think that kind of stuff is fun. You know, I'll sleep for 100 bits video. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Cleric arrives in Avernus. Something seems wrong here. Oh no. Oh, they were secretly worse. They were a warlock in disguise. Because like I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to play a cleric that's actually a warlock but doesn't know they're a warlock. You know, I wanted them to play like think that they're a cleric because they made like a pact with some like priest or whatever at a church to like, you know, serve the higher power and like go off into the world and do some like, you know, do good for the peoples and protect the innocents and shit. But really they actually just made a warlock pact and they didn't realize it. And you're like, they're like, I will now use my holy bolt and I will send my holy energies at the enemy to defeat them. And they're just casting Eldritch Blast and they just don't realize it. You know, I kind of want to do that at some point in time with the character, just play it up or whatever. Like they're in service of a different deity, like a cleric of Shar that doesn't realize that she's actually a cleric of Selune. Oh wait, shit. Ah, fuck. Never mind. Sorry, I've been done. Shit. I guess my idea is dead. There goes my script. I guess my idea for the next D&D movie or Critical Role arc is off the table. One time as a Soroka main. Oh Jesus. I watched my ADC die and giggle as they rage quit. They were very mean and rude to me from the start. No healing for them. Damn, bro. That's toxic. Bro, what are you doing? You don't immediately toggle off chat? Holy shit. That's brave. I've never met somebody who plays a support character that doesn't toggle off chat immediately. That's impressive. Cheers to you, I guess. That's a cool idea. You like it? Cleric section? Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's like a cool story in there somewhere, because I like to reskin things all the time. I like the idea of like, because like this came from a story that I haven't really talked about ever on stream, but one of the worlds, and we can talk about it. Fuck it. So big spoilers story for one of the realms of Eldara. There is a planet by the name of Domingrad. I haven't ever talked about it really on stream besides maybe mentioning the name once. And Domingrad was a world that I had created when I was in art school that I did a comic book for. And basically, a very loose TLDR premise of... Rob, why? You can't just drop subs? I was supposed to talk about Domingrad. Fuck. Jeez, man. Thank you for the 500 subs. Holy shit. I appreciate that. Damn, bro. That's very kind of you. Dude, come on. I don't deserve that. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? You could have subbed 5 times to 5 different VTubers. You could be subbed to Shy Lily, Iron Mouse, Snuffy, Nyanners, and Vebe all at once instead of gifting 5 subs, man. I just spit all over my monitor. Don't worry about it. Thank you. Instead of resubbing to those 5 VTubers, thank you for instead choosing to throw 5 subs out to the TDC, man, to people in the guild. I really appreciate that. It's not, listen, man, gifted subs they make me emotional, because it's not just like supporting and be like, yo, here's some support, bro, because like maybe you can like eat this month. That's crazy. I appreciate that, obviously, but it's like saying, hey, now other people can like be in the guild and not have to deal with ads. And that really means a lot to me. So bringing people into TDC, into the crew, and you know, it's always meant a lot to me. So thank you very much for the subs. I appreciate that. You're losing weight. The gift was subs are for more food. Jesus, man. Holy shit. The amount of eggs that I eat from Costco right now, Rob, to get big. Ugh, look at it. Oh, I'm getting definition and getting smaller, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Rob. That's incredibly generous of you. I appreciate that. Come on, man. Come on, man. All right. Hey, there you go. Thank you for the gifted sub to Shy Lily. So now Shy Lily is subbed to my stream. Wow, what an honor. That's a womp womp right there. Holy shit, man. Thank you for whoever the fuck that was for the Shy Lily gifted sub. That's shit. No, I'm not selling it, Sonia. Okay. You're assuming Rob isn't already subbed to them already? No, that's true. I did make a pretty big assumption there, so you're right about that. But thank you for the 6 gifted subs now. I appreciate that, guys. The 9 total subs today. That's like a record. Holy shit. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Anyway, so please don't. Please don't gift a sub to the big VTuber. The one was enough, and it's you made your point. All right, you made your point. Anonymous gifter, you're hilarious. There you go. All right, thank you. You made your point. You gifted a sub to Shy Lily and Vey. I appreciate that. That's very generous. Maybe that one day I'll be able to invite them to a D&D game. That's, mark my words. One day, clip it. I'll be relevant enough to not just play D&D with my VTuber friends, but also I'll be relevant enough to play D&D with Shy Lily and Vey. That's right. There it is, man. One day my D&D game will be cool enough and I'll be relevant enough to play D&D with the big streamers. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Okay, so Domengrad. So I never really talked about Domengrad before, but Domengrad was this project I worked on while I was in art school, and world building is always something I've done to help contextualize my art. And I find that it's really useful to work on a project because, like, for anyone who's, and I'm not gonna pose myself as somebody who has like game studio experience, but I have a little bit. Like I not enough that I ever want to brag about it because it's nothing to brag about, but I've been in and around studios and stuff and Thank you, DS Legends, for the sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, dude. I got scared when I heard the alert. I was like, oh god. Oh, my heart stopped for a second. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Welcome to the guild for the 5th month. I'm honored. What do you use to draw? I don't see that in your info about section. Oh, isn't it? Really? Wait, there used to be a tools or whatever. Anyway, you're right. I use a Photoshop and a Cintiq 24-inch, a big old tablet. There it is. That's what I use right there. There it is. Thank you so much, anonymous gifted subber, for gifting us something Yanners too. There it is. Thank you. Thanks for so now Shy Lily, Vey, and Nyanners are all subbed to my stream. There it is, man. They all have access to my emotes. I wonder if they'll use them. I appreciate it. All right, so Domingrad, I was building it when I was in art school because I found that it was really helpful for me to contextualize all my art by having something like a story or a world behind it to whack on. Is that even a real channel? Thank you for the gift sub to Wacom. I think I appreciate that. Like, I definitely appreciate it, but I'm pretty sure I appreciate it. It's like a little bit of a stun law. You're like, I think it's like when somebody cheers 690 bits. It's like, thank you, I guess. You know, it's like, I don't know. I appreciate it. Thank you, Sam. So, so I used to build worlds even before Eldara, before any of this shit. I used to build worlds just to make my art make more sense. Thank you for the gifted sub to Iron Mouse. I appreciate that. And Domingrad was a world that I built for a project that I had to draw a comic book in. And basically the TLDR of Domingrad is it's kind of like a dark fantasy. It's really dark. Like it's probably like too dark for like modern D&D. But okay. Thank you, DS Legends, for the gifted sub. I appreciate that. You don't do that though. Seriously, you can just chill. Guys, I don't deserve the subs. Like, I appreciate it, but like, I don't deserve it. I'm just happy you're here. Okay, I could be just playing World of Warcraft in my underwear, you know, sitting around doing nothing. But you guys are hanging out with me, and that's enough. You don't gotta be throwing subs and attacking with you bits and gifting subs to Shy Lily and other big VTubers and to people in chat. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Seriously, that's extremely generous. I really appreciate it. Fuck, man. What is that, like Amaranth's third month being subbed to me? Is that like Amaranth's third month of being subbed to me now, Sam? Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Blaze, for the gifted sub to Bow. I appreciate it. That's just very... I don't want to start this meta of people trying to figure out which big VTubers aren't sub to me. This is a toxic meta, okay? I don't want to earn that much attention, okay? I don't want to get canceled on VTuber Reddit. All right? That's... I appreciate the sub, though, Blaze. Thank you for that. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Legends. I appreciate it, guys. Something Domingrad? Ah, don't worry about it. Who cares? No one wanted to listen to my dumbass shit anyway. But yeah, it's a dark fantasy world where the church sort of like has a false story about why they are like the good holy church of the land, and they actually draw, instead of like being gifted their powers from angels and divine creatures to allow them to be paladins and clerics and like save the land, basically they stole it through awful blood magic and released the the husks of the deflated and corrupted angels into the world to murder the masses, only for them to arrive after the town has been murdered to slay the angel that they sucked out all the holy energy out for their own ill uses, and then allowed it to run rampant to then kill it to make themselves seem like the heroes to the people. So it's a whole story about dark fantasy and shit. And I kind of have this idea at some point in time that I want to tell its story through a D&D campaign, but the comic book was basically went over a young squire who like uncovered the secret and had to like run from the church and try and escape their influence, and it was a whole thing and whatnot. So but Domingrad, that's actually one of the inspirations from Eldara, is to create like the realms of Eldara are all these worlds that surround the main world of Eldara that have their own different vibes and fantasies. And that's the difficult sort of choices about things like deities and things like universal cosmic forces, is basically how do you create because the goal of Eldar is to create a place where there's lots of different fantasy you can go explore. Like, imagine you step through a portal and you're in like your favorite dark fantasy video game world. So like Path of Exile, Diablo 4, whatever, Elden Ring, Dark Souls. You take a portal and you go to another world that's a completely different rules of how magic works there. So it feels more like, I don't know, Treasure Planet or something like that. And so Teleria, the world we're building right now, is supposed to be kind of the general like D&D feeling world, the one that feels the most home in TTRPGs. But I have ideas and stories for different worlds that are kind of crazy and out there and like really different. And Domingrad is one of them that I've never really got a chance to talk about. But because we were talking about the cleric thing, I kind of had this idea that like you'd have these like clerics that were clerics of this church, you know, this main church, that didn't realize it, but they're actually all warlocks. They actually all warlocks with different like pact magic sort of things. That the main sort of like bishop of the church is actually their like mortal patron that like gifts them their like, you know, terrible powers in the form of like divine light, and so it allows them to do things like healing and perform, you know, cleric miracles, whatever. But actually they're all like servants to some dark power and they don't realize it. But I don't know, it's a story for a different day, I guess. A place to explore, a different time to explore. For now I'm really focused on trying to get Teleria to be playable, but once Teleria, like this is all kind of stuff that I'm planning for after the release of the campaign guide, the Realms of Eldara, you know, story, world 1, story 1, whatever, you know, Teleria. And then after that, I want to expand out and do some crazy shit. But also, it's okay, once we have one world that's sort of the basic place to play with, we can kind of create other worlds and not fill them in super deep or whatever. Like, you know, there's some world maps for games or D&D or whatever, and those world maps are like kind of mostly unfinished, and they're like a continent or two. You know, like you take like Azeroth or Runeterra, or I don't know if like Elden Ring is a world map. I think Elden Ring is like a region map. I could be wrong. But they don't need to finish it off, because you have the map of the relevant place that you can play with right now, the relevant region you can enter with the relevant peoples and cultures and whatever, and you say beyond the shore that way for 20 days on the ocean is the great land of Yormamia, where your mom just sits there and you know, whatever you want to do. Like, you can say all sorts of crazy shit. And I think that's also a great way to empower DMs to then be able to sort of like claim a part of the world and design their own, if they like it. I mean, so this is all a big if DMs like Eldara and want to run games in Eldara. But I kind of have to, like, it feels a little arrogant to assume people will want to, but I kind of have to plan as if they do, because if I'm not planning for this project to go well, what am I doing? You know? So anyway, I have to plan for DMs who want to play the game and who want to run a world like a game in Eldara. I have to like leave them room for their own stories in there that they want to tell, and give them a framework that is cool to play in, and then let them just do the cool, like, you know, put the spice on however they want, which is, I think, important. It's like a lesson I learned from Star Wars, actually, from playing Star Wars D&D. Because Star Wars D&D, you know what I love about it is that you say you're on Coruscant, everybody knows what you're talking about. You say you fly past a Star Destroyer, everybody understands what that looks like. You say, hey, you meet up with a Jedi, and everyone knows what you're talking about. But then when you're playing your own Star Wars game, you can make your own planet and your own Force tradition, your own thing. It's like, oh, you two are Jedi. You're getting sent to the planet of, you know, fuck, I don't remember any planets we made, but whatever. You get sent to the planet of Who Asked. Who is the main world of the Whoastians, who are very concerned with making sure that somebody in chat asked, you know, and you have to go there and you have to meet these new Jedi offshoots that have been hidden from the Force for 10,000 years. Oh, by the way, they all look like World of Warcraft demon hunters. And you're like, damn, bro, you're an edgy boy, aren't you? And you're like, well, I did write Death Note fan fiction, so yes, whatever, man. You leave DMs a place in Star Wars. There's infinite worlds in the galaxy, and you can create your own and create a cool story. So I want to leave a lot of the maps. Like, Teleria is going to be a finished world with a finished map. But a lot of these other worlds are going to be like, here's the main continent, man. And there's stories about things that are that way or that way. But like, if the DM's like, I want to tell a story about the other side of, like, I love Domingrad. It's crazy. So I want to tell the story of what's on the other side of the world. Maybe this church that's like, manipulating the people and doing all this stuff on the other side of the world. Maybe there's a church that is like trying to save the angels and they're at war or something, but they can't. They're like imprisoned in some sort of holy shackles or something with some, I don't know, man. Make your own shit up. You're a DM. You're a Giga Chad writer. Puffin, we're gonna be doing some concept work today. Fantasy writers love apostrophes, so it's actually your Mamiya. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for clarifying that one. They do love apostrophes. So where can I get the Eldarin Gazetter? I want a full breakdown of each city, town, village, local, and regional maps, lore bits from different cultures and regions, what myths and legends exist. That's like a Patreon stretch goal. That's a stretch goal somewhere. I don't know where, but that's a stretch goal. Excellent use of glasses adjustments. Sometimes it's subconscious, Atari. And other times it's intentional. Who knows? Is it all performative? Are the glasses, do they even do anything? Do they even have a prescription? You don't know. Not really, anyway. I don't actually need my glasses. I just wear them when I'm on my computer, because reading tiny text is difficult sometimes when your eyes get tired, and the glasses help for that. So who knows if I actually need to adjust them? What if I can see perfectly well through the through the crack in between the glasses and the hat? Save the angels, get Avacyn out of the Hell Vault, bro. You don't want to play on Domingrad. You don't have what I would call the stones to play in Domingrad. You see, regular D&D players who enjoy their high fantasy, furry, weird, emotional critical role games, they don't have the fortitude to play in a deep, dark fantasy world where edgy things happen. So, I know you're a Discord mod, but you're not quite there yet. All right, you're ascending the ladder of being edgy by being a Discord mod, but unfortunately not yet. You don't have enough Wicca books to do that. I will save the queen no matter the cost. Look, and I want to have a world where it's like I want to bring in Domingrad some serious darkness to the fantasy, and that's not something that's gonna be for everybody. But I was thinking about it a bit yesterday after we were talking about Dark Sun and how apparently WotC doesn't want to make Dark Sun or some shit. So it kind of got me thinking about like, oh yeah, I really had plans for like some super dark fantasy. But there's also places in Eldara that are going to be completely different vibes. It's like, how do you like, I'm just greedy, I guess. I'm greedy because I want to create multiple different cool fantasy worlds, because I think that people in their fantasy like various different things. And I think it's responsible for, somebody who's trying to make a fantasy world that persists to accommodate all the vast different variety of people who like different types of fantasy. And the nice thing about the way that Eldara works, that just sounded a little self-congratulatory, because it's like the nice thing about the way that I designed something well is that the worlds can function somewhat independently. The rules of Magic are governed more so by the world than they are by the universe, which is, I think, a little bit different than a lot of fantasy worlds, where the rules of Magic are kind of governed by existence and creation, which is why I don't really want to touch the divine. I don't really want to announce that there are deities that are interactable, because if you have this all-powerful deity that is, this 6-foot Giga Chad that parses orange on World of Warcraft and also has a girlfriend, like, just this deific vision of what a human could possibly be ascended to godhood. It's like, why aren't they all powerful enough to like transcend that one world, and the cleric's on that one area. And then if you're a cleric of like the Giga Chad and you go to a different world, your cleric powers not work anymore. Well, of course they still work. So how do you have a divine entity gifting you powers beyond your own realm into the other realms of Eldara? How does that work? And it just kind of does, man. It's like one of those things that you just don't worry about. It's a mystery of the universe. How magic works at the most fundamental deep level, I don't think is a question that should be answered. I don't think that gods and deities should be accessible. It's like the Marvel example I use is like Galactus. It's like, how do you interact with Galactus? You just jump in the shark at that point in time. You have like little villains, and you have like Spider-Man movie villains, and oh shit, it's the Spider-Boy versus the Rhino Man. Okay, I get that. But suddenly when you're dealing with like the Avengers level sort of Marvel, like that's kind of like, I feel like the end of the story, really. It's like you defeat the ultimate villain of the universe. What else do you have after that? Oh, you have the cosmic horrors and cosmic threats of the universe. What do you do now? And it's like a little bit weird and unrelatable and unreachable to be like playing with those concepts. So I kind of don't want to. I kind of want to leave a lot of those concepts to, you know, the background of this is not something we're going to touch in storytelling. It's going to be there. It's going to be a force of cosmic whatever, and you're not really going to understand how it works. I have an idea of how it kind of works, but it's still not interactable, if that makes sense, you know? The problem is for a lot of DMs is they kind of want to know everything about the world so that they can describe whatever in depth to their players, because players like asking a lot of questions. I feel like I need to sort of empower DMs to say with certain things, if it's like, hey, if an astral sage wants to know the direct and deep mechanics of the astral aura, they don't know.
We defeated the ultimate enemy of the universe. What's next? The evil Mudra is terrorizing local farms.
Man, god damn it. Ah shit, we got a new expansion. Is that what happens, Aduria? Yeah, you kill Kel'Thuzad. Now you have to go to Outland to save the farm from Hellboars. You're like, god damn it, this fucking sucks, bro. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I dig. I appreciate the 100 bits, man. Game of Thrones is a big role model for my fantasy book / world. Going the real route with dark, depressing shit. Well, I think there's like a place for that. And like, I think the reason why people like dark fantasy is because there's a certain story that happens about the humans, a story that's like a mythical, archetypical story of the human spirit persisting through the darkness. And I think there is an inherent draw people have to that story, right? And the story is retold different ways and different times. But one thing that helps that story is to set up an oppressive, dark setting or an environment, right? You have the idea of like Star Wars uses this. Star Wars utilizes dark fantasy without being dark, if that makes sense, without being gratuitous about it. But Star Wars has the oppressive, you know, imperial whatever, and the evil forces of the universe currently winning, and they've won their war, and now what do we do? Right? Diablo has this, you know, this idea of what do you do as a mortal when the forces of hell, of the literal embodiment of sin itself has come to the world to wreak destruction and havoc. You know, and Game of Thrones sort of has a bit of that too. And I think there's a really interesting story of how the human spirit persists and finds the light within the darkness. And you see elements of that. Like, I wouldn't describe Lord of the Rings as dark fantasy, but it definitely uses that sort of idea, I think, when doing storytelling about like Frodo and the later parts of like Two Towers and Return of the King, where, you know, yeah, how do you persist in this world of darkness? You have marched to Mordor. You have literally found your way into and snuck into hell itself to dispose of the greatest evil from the maw in which it came. And how do you, as one small creature, you know, the Hobbiton human spirit, I don't know, it's an interesting story. It's a compelling story, and I think that you can really tell interesting stories if you set the world up for that. So I think that there are going to be some places like Domengrad that are very dark fantasy kind of areas, and you can do that even within your own game world. Like the Shattered Sea is not like it's really dark fantasy, but when you go deep into the, like, close to the abyss, I think that sort of begins to feel like a dark fantasy story. And the stories that I write within that area of the world feel kind of like that dark fantasy. Also, like the whole embracing the monster type thing. I mean, the entire Duskwatch Paladin Order does that. When the only remaining angel dies to a pointy lady, Yeah, but here's the thing. Inarius wasn't the only remaining angel. He was just the only one stuck in Sanctuary. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens in the new expansion for Diablo. What a disappointment, man. The Diablo 4 story with Inarius, he went out like a little bitch. Like, I'm sorry. I was expecting some big story with Inarius and Lilith. I didn't want Inarius to die in a cutscene. Come on, man. Yeah, spoilers for a game that came out like 8 months ago. Anyway, we gotta do some concept work today. I want to do some environmental stuff, and I find that doing world building via art is something that I used to put more emphasis in and less into characters. So I want to do some stuff today, and I want to do some locations and do a little bit of painting, because I also said that I want to start painting a little bit more. So I kind of want to do some. Maybe we'll do our vignette card doc. Concept. Is it a concept book? I forget. I think it was. Aha! It was. I want to start doing some paintings with these. So I don't know if we should paint in the existing ones or if we should paint some new ones. But I want to go to some different locations in the world, different places that I can show the players, whether we can use for World Anvil articles specifically to say like, oh, this is like, I mean, this was Pillar's Reach Fortress. So when we have an article for that eventually, then we have the art for that. Great. So other locations that are kind of important to Teleria are ones that I want to focus on. Lilith is such a date goal. Why is Lilith a date goal? Lilith sucked, dude, man. What? We have a Wiggly Boy today. Why do you want a Wiggly Boy? What about dark fantasy and gifted subs to VTubers has made you think of Wiggly Boys? This is not a good combination, all right? This is how you start a Reddit thread. Maybe we can maybe we can be a little wiggly. But yeah, I kind of want to try painting some of these. Maybe we'll do a warm up and actually paint one or two of these in, as just a quick warm up, and then we'll actually try and paint someone out. But yeah, I don't know, man. The world is vast, and we need to fill it in. I feel like there's a lot of great stories to tell within Eldara that are of different fantasy genres. Because, like, realistically, people are very affectionately interested in the fantasy that they love. And I think that a great way to get people to explore new fantasy that they might not be super familiar with is to introduce them via the fantasy that they already like and know and love. And that's a bit of an abstract idea, but I think it's doable. Maybe we can encourage people to sort of expand out a bit from the comforts of their own fantasy into a different world, because I think it's pretty cool when you get people to kind of go beyond, you know? It's like when you have a player that doesn't enjoy necessarily a certain type of D&D game, but they find themselves in a new area or a new type of story, and they find how to like transition their main like character story that they sort of interpret the world with. They figure out how to do that with a different style of fantasy, and they hopefully find something that they can explore and that they love after that, you know? What about a wiggly girl? What? Come on, man. What is that? You know what? I don't want to know what that entails. I don't care. Ali, I'm sorry I asked. Just forget it. I don't need more. Last time I asked you for an example, I got the most cursed art, and I'm just not interested in that again. I don't need any more. All right, I'm good this time. I'm just gonna take your word for it. All right, sick. Yeah. Feel not pressured to ruin my day again. She sucked. I rooted for her to get from the get-go. She's a mean mommy with big, strong powers, man. She's a terrible character. All she did was whine the entire time. Ooh, Sanctuary. I have come back to save Sanctuary. To save it from what, Lilith? From the prime evils. Oh, yeah? Yeah, from Mephisto. Oh, you mean Daddy? Yeah, I don't like Mephisto. Why don't you like Mephisto? Because I'm a demon. All right. Thanks, Lilith. Yeah, thanks for fucking nothing. The problem I have with Lilith is that they set her up to be a sympathetic character. They set her up to be a sympathetic character where she could say legitimately like, hey, the angels have like done away with the balance of like the natures of the demonic and the divine, and I am here to restore the balance. And I could have gotten on with that story, but then it's just like, oh wait, demons be demoning. Like they set her up to have such a cool story, and they just made her so one-dimensional that I actually couldn't even like finish the story without feeling mildly ill. I was so disappointed. It was a fun little story. It's like, all right, there's a new demon. Okay, cool. But like, I wanted something more from D4, man. I wanted something like a more interesting Diablo story than just a mixture of Diablo 2 and 3 again, with like a mediocre discount. You know what Lilith is? I'm saying it once and for all. Lilith is budget discount Walmart Mephisto. The problem is, you can call me an asshole for saying it. You can say that I'm an absolute dick for pointing that out, but you can't say I'm wrong. So, I hate sympathetic bad guy speech. It's so overused. Well, I'm not saying make her like super like, oh wow, I completely understand her motivations, but like her story could have been so much more nuanced and better than just another demon being demon, especially with them setting up Inarius. Like, it was just, oh hey, another demon has come to Sanctuary to try and claim it. It's like, all right, cool. They tried to make this big whole thing with Inarius and Lilith, and they used that character very specifically. They used an inherently sympathetic character just because they wanted to, like, I don't know what their whole idea was with bringing Lilith into it, but they could have told the same story with a different character and would have worked better, I think. Find some other fucking dommy mommy character to use. Have Andariel have her moment or some shit, I don't know. But Lilith, the mother of Sanctuary, and Inarius, the father of Sanctuary, that could have been a way better story that they could have left for something else. You can see her as a bad guy, so she's not a sympathetic bad guy for me. But anyway, I don't know shit. Yeah, I don't know shit either. What are we talking about? No, I used to be a super big Diablo lore nerd. Like, I've read all the books and stuff, and I was just mad they did Lilith dirty. I feel like they could have done a way better job with her story, but I don't know, man. People liked it. That's cool. People didn't love it, but people liked it. I guess it's all you really need for an ARPG story. So let's face it, who's actually playing Diablo for the story? Not a lot of people. It's mostly like the average ARPG fan is a pumper. All they want to do is just pump Big Damn and get loot. And so they don't give a shit about the story. So I guess it doesn't matter. I guess it's just lore nerds like me that are just angrily adjusting their glasses and snorting whilst their pocket protectors become dislodged because they didn't do something with as much lore accuracy as they should have. Alright, we're trying a new style here a little bit. We're gonna go a little bit dangerous. We're gonna try hatching in our color as well. We're gonna try it today. But I agree, the whole sympathetic villain thing is a little bit... It's a little bit too popular now. People are way too concerned about making their villains a sympathetic bad guy. And I think that a really interesting story is that somebody is an asshole. You know, there's like lots of... I think one of the most human stories is that somebody was an asshole. You know, and there's room for sympathetic stories. Like, if you're a comic book fan, I think the Joker is like a very interesting character to explore, and people like it. But like, not every character, not every villain, not every arc needs to be this like big, long, drawn out backstory that you need to hear about their childhood to like understand why they're a villain. And so now you can go off into the ruins of the world and be the hero that the world needs just in time to stop the evils of whatever it is and whoever asked from taking control. But like, D&D definitely falls into that problem, right? D&D is very self-indulgent storytelling, and kind of by design in a lot of ways, right? I think sometimes people get the wrong impression when I talk about players being selfish storytellers or D&D being a self-indulgent like story. most of the time. Like, that's the current meta, as it's like a bad thing, but it's kind of not really a bad thing. It's just kind of an observation of the tools given to players, and the kind of the nature of what's going to happen to a game when you allow your players to sort of take charge and take control of the world and do D&D things within it. You're going to get a lot of self-serving stories, a lot of, you know, focused tales on how it relates to somebody's internal whatever. The problem is that it just makes for, I think, bad viewing a lot of times, which makes for, like, Critical Role really interesting. I don't know how they actually, like, find so much success with their... because they're very, very much, like, character story focused. It's very theatrical. I guess there's a large audience for that. It's, like, outside of D&D, which is pretty cool. I enjoy it, anyway. Don't believe in villains anymore, other than maybe society. I write everything as a gray character. Yeah, I mean, sure. That's interesting way of taking it, you know? It's like the idea of good and evil being not really a binary. I think there's still room for sort of archetypical storytelling where you do have these concepts of, like, these very old concepts of good and evil. The problem with trying to write those stories is a lot of times people who try and write them think much, like, they think very highly of themselves. So they think they're very smart when they're writing a story that's actually, like, kind of a lesser version of what it could be if it was more, you know, traditional or archetypical or whatever, however you want to word it. And, like, I don't think I'm a smart enough storyteller to tell those kind of stories. So I'm gonna sort of follow the standard booklet of how to tell a good story and tell something that's a little more archetypical and try and have those moments of nuance in there, but I'm not, like, betting anything on it, you know? I'm not betting the farm on my ability to tell a very nuanced story. It's a little bit safer for me to try and just tell, like, stories that are as relatable and old as possible. Because I think that's, like, what Star Wars did, right? I mean, George Lucas did that openly. He told one of the greatest stories of the modern age, and all he did was reskin old concepts. It's like, all right. All right, cool, man. I dig. I understand. Challenge accepted. Quest accepted. I guess I'll try the same thing, or a similar approach. Because I think that, like, Lucas specifically, as somebody who, like, does storytelling via anthropology background, which a lot of people forget that he's an anthropologist first before he was a storyteller. That's, like, kind of a successful way of doing it, I think. Sort of the way that I'm going to try and do it anyway. What's up, Nick? It's going well, my friend. It's going well. I hope you're good. We're doing some warm-ups for some locations, some environments today. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll redefine fantasy art forever, or I might screw it all up. I guess we'll have to see. We never know until you hit save and post it on Twitter. Maybe you're a genius, maybe you're a fool. Art's tough, man. Still gonna put the effort in and give it a try. Alright. The sky is gonna be a really important element, I think, for most of the Tolarian art. I always want to do a good job trying to, like, render it out and make it part of the visual interest of the world, you know? Alright. Or different sort of, like, layers of clouds rolling through. Because also it's, like, supposed to be a big, like, thing of contrast for the runes in the sky, the rings of the Eldari, the monuments. And there's also something about having those monuments be floating that I think is really, like, ascendant in a lot of ways. Makes them less relatable. Monolithic, ascendant, whatever. Just sort of separates the mortals from the ancients, I guess, in some ways. Great anthropologist turned writer was Greg Keyes, the Briar King. Great sense of history and culture. The Briar King. I'm unfamiliar. Unfortunately. I think that's really interesting, like, I don't know, background to have for storytelling. I think it's like a cheat sheet for telling really important stories. You figure out how to tell like culturally important or relevant stories when you have a background like that. But yeah, I mean, like one of the reasons why Lucas explored the kind of those big ideas is because, yeah, when you start coming at storytelling from anthropology and sociology standpoint, you really, I feel like you really learn how, like, you develop and crack the code for telling important stories. Because, like, I think the inherent thing is that it's very satisfying to write character stories, but I think it's very difficult to get people to give a shit about your character stories. When your character has the currency of having like some sort of archetypical role, suddenly that character becomes accessible and interesting. And so you don't need to try and tell a really interesting story about Obi-Wan. You're telling a story about the wizard, the mentor, and people want to know about them more because they have that sort of recognizability. And it's kind of a good place to go, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Never forget, I'm just some weirdo pretending to know anything about writing. It's not my speciality. Not like hunting Sith Lords is. That's a whole different story. All right. We're getting there. I'm trying to layer these like clouds a little bit better in my paintings recently. I feel like there's a sense of like distance to some. And that's just kind of a matter of fading it into the sky more and more, with line work and with the actual colors. So, and we have worlds in the sky. Like, I think it's a really interesting idea of a lot of the art that I do for the Realms of Eldara project will always be kind of like looking up. It'll mostly, if not all, be like above ground, looking up. The sky is going to be a big character, because that's like the canvas for hosting our different worlds, our Eldari runes, all of that, man. It's almost why I think the Shattered Sea works so well as an area, a region within an Eldara, because it sort of embodies that in a lot of ways, just naturally, by being a place in the sky with floating islands, an infinite cloud sea, star ocean above. That's like a thing that I said about a city in like an article I wrote a while ago, was it is known as the place where the cloud sea meets the star ocean. I was very proud of myself. I thought very highly of myself for at least 20 minutes. And then I queued a game of Overwatch, got absolutely dunked on by the enemy Mercy, and realized I'm nothing. I'm a gnat. And it brought me back down to reality, so that was good. Nothing like video games against Zoomers to teach you your place in the world. That's always good. We need far less blue in here, I think, than... Oh, it needs to be lighter, though. What am I doing? What am I doing? Although, you know, I will say the one thing about the Shattered Sea art is there's like an interesting idea of the depths of it as well. Like, it doesn't just have to deal with the sky. It's also kind of diving into the heart of the world itself. It's like a big hole in the ground. It's kind of a good metaphor for what lies beneath, what lurks below the surface. Which is kind of referential for other fantasy, but it's gonna happen. Like, you're never gonna make a completely original fantasy. You can just try and, like, I think, reference ideas and stuff in an interesting way that's like new and exciting, hopefully. But those ideas themselves might be referential of other things, which isn't bad. My problem with fantasy is when it becomes sort of so obvious, it's like incestuous. You just have elves and orcs for the sake of elves and orcs. You have them act and exist exactly like you'd expect them to act and exist just because they did in other fantasy. Which is why I'm like kind of renaming a lot of stuff and reskinning it. It's like, how do you take an idea? You really like liberate yourself, I find. When you take an idea from somewhere else and you remove the name, it kind of removes a lot of the like shackles of like what it's supposed to be, you know, or how it's supposed to relate to said idea. That's otherwise known as Amazon's Wheel of Time. Oh no. Oh, not Wheel of Time. Dude, okay, Atari, should one of my D&D groups likes the Wheel of Time. Should I stop playing D&D with them? Like, is there something that somebody can enjoy that is such a heinous, like, forfeiture of their ability to appreciate good stories that you no longer deem them worthy to play D&D in your world? Because I did that. You're like, ha ha ha, it's funny. No, I stopped playing D&D with a guy because he said that Star Wars Episode 8 was the best Star Wars, hands down, indisputable. It was the most core Star Wars and best example of Star Wars that has come out probably ever. It's definitely even better than the prequels and probably definitely better than the originals. That somehow Rian Johnson understood Star Wars better than George Lucas. That somehow, and I thought this was a joke. It was such an outlandish, like, I don't know, heretical opinion that I thought it was a joke for a long time. Then I realized he was serious, and I stopped playing D&D with him because I realized he was too dumb to play my game. Is the wheel? Should I regard the Wheel of Time as the same thing? Should I tell my players that we aren't playing D&D anymore together because I can't? They're never gonna understand a good story that I write for them because they enjoyed Amazon's Wheel of Time, or is that too hard? Is that too harsh? Am I neck bearding too hard? Because I'm willing to be told that I'm neck bearding a bit. I just got to know that I'm the one wrong here. You know, I'm willing to be wrong. I just need to know that I'm wrong, right? You don't speak of that. They're not to be trusted. The dude was looking for something that wasn't Star Wars. That's what I said, and thus I would not play D&D with him. Ugh. He said that killing off Luke Skywalker was the best thing they could do for Star Wars because the story was never supposed to be about Luke Skywalker. It was supposed to be about blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you understand this is a story about family, right? This is a mythical story about the archetypical idea of rescuing the father, redeeming the bloodline, you know, the sins of the sins of the parent kind of whole thing. The story is very biblical and mythical and whatever and all these things. And he's like, no. It's about whatever. Like, fuck you. I'm not playing D&D with you anymore, loser. And I didn't, and I haven't since. And you might call me petty for that, and I don't care. I don't care. You have to respect your DM if you're a player. You have to respect your DM and want to play with them and respect their ideas. And as a DM, you have to respect your players. Personally, I watch it, and I like how they portrayed the weave and some of the casting for the characters, location scenes, but I don't like writing for the series. Oh, for the Wheel of Time. Yeah. I kind of wanted to watch like the Wheel of Time just to have an idea of like some people really like I'm kind of memeing. I mean, I think it's obvious that I'm kind of memeing about it, but I was considering watching it because a lot of people are really happy with it, and I don't know. It's very contentious. A lot of people are very happy with Wheel of Time. It's like Lord of the Rings. A lot of people really liked it, like the Rings of Power, and some people really fucking hated it, and I find that to be interesting. I don't think it's interesting if everybody universally loves something because it's too safe, right? It's like the whole does Wizards of the Coast publish Dark Sun debate. It's like the safe answer is no. Of course you don't publish Dark Sun. But that's kind of fucking boring, and the safe route is kind of the boring route in this case. So like if everybody universally likes something, I think that it's kind of I'm pretty sure I won't find it interesting. Not to just be contrarian comic book store nerd, but you know what I mean, right? You get the same kind of vibe. So I was wondering if like Wheel of Time would actually be worth the watch. If nothing else, I do enjoy worlds. So if the world is good, like I'll forgive a good game, or sorry, a bad game if it has a cool world. And I will be less interested in a good game if it has like an uninteresting world, right? Like the flatness and single dimensionality of the Souls games make me not super interested in them. And they're great stories, and everyone would say the best thing about a Souls game is the great gameplay. And I'm sure it's true, but the world is not interesting enough for me to want to take any time for, right? So maybe if the world is interesting enough for some of these like new age fantasy series, then I might have something in there that's worth exploring, right? Don't like the writing for the series. The depiction of the waves is pretty cool. What's your opinion on Darth Nihilus? Was that KOTOR 2? KOTOR 2, right? Yes. Mostly forgettable. Yeah, I think he's mostly forgettable. I don't remember. Like the thing is, it's hard to bring up KOTOR 2 without like making it all about Darth Krayt, which I think is like fair and a bit unfair. But it was longer. It was long enough ago that I don't remember. Like I don't remember being upset with Darth Nihilus, but I kind of like put Darth Nihilus in that entire like category of like, okay, there's just like a Sith. There wasn't anything like super memorable, you know? Which maybe I have to go back and replay the games. I'm waiting for the remaster. Keck. Whenever it happens, if it happens. But yeah, I can't say I remember too much about it, or too much about what the fuck Darth Nihilus did besides just Darthy Nihilus things. Traegro and Scion greater than Nihilus. You think Darth Scion was a great Sith villain? Wasn't Scion's whole thing just that he was so angry? He was just the embodiment of the Force's ability to be Madge. Like Darth Scion was your average World of Warcraft player on maintenance days. It was basically ate the Force. Yeah, but I just don't remember the character being like all that interesting. You know, not like bad. It's not like being like no criticisms. I just don't remember anything like particularly interesting about the character, right? But again, I also haven't played the game in probably 15 years. Or when did because I played KOTOR 2 when it came out. This is gonna be painful. KOTOR 2 release date, December 6, 2004. Oh, God. So I probably didn't play it right when it came out. I probably played it around 2000, and now that I think about it, probably around 2007, because it was like in high school. So it was like 2006, 2007. So yeah, it's whew, that's a long time ago, man. That's a long time ago. I'd like to give it another shot. I wonder how would you go about playing it today if you wanted to, I wonder. How would one even play the game or find it or whatever? That would be an interesting playthrough. Because I think they scrapped the remakes, right? Or the remasters. Wheel of Time has its flaws, but I wouldn't put it under the new age fantasy. The books are fairly foundational in the fantasy genre, and it's got a very mythic scale. I thought the shows visually wouldn't be up to your standards. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, so Lo, let me preface that or clarify that. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Wheel of Time books. But I'm just talking about the show. I've heard just heinous, terrible things about the show. The show is an abomination of the Wheel of Time books. A butchering. It seems like everybody's pretty bothered about it. What did somebody say about it? Fuck. Somebody in chat like said that it was some really, oh fuck. They said it was like Narnia if you didn't grow up or whatever, or like, no, what was it? It was like Narnia for people that never aged past 14 and are now in their 30s or whatever. I don't remember. It was funny. I kept W'd. Either way. Music choices alone? Oh man. That's too bad. Bad music ruins it. Not like the Realms of Eldara that has quality music available. The best scores written. Yo, Dasho, I think we're working on your album cover right now. I think we might just say fuck it and use one of these vignettes. Screw it, dog. Just use this, yeah. All right, this is the new album cover. This is the okay, sick. That's what we'll do, guys. We have album artwork finally for Dashto's album release. I finally figured out how to stop being such a bad artist. Now I'm just a mediocrely bad artist. Now we have album artwork worthy of Dashto's music and all of its glorious mediocrity. Making the music look real good with the art. Only got a few episodes in the Wheel of Time. The main sorceress lady wasn't interesting, and neither were the groups of other characters. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard all sorts of criticisms about it. Seems like no. That's the thing that makes me like most interested about it is nobody has like everyone says. When I say why don't you like Rings of Power, people just say it's a dumb like inconsequential stupid like teenage fantasy story. It's not like Lord of the Ringsy. It's not like, it's like, okay, fair enough, you know. But people I feel like can't agree on why they don't like Wheel of Time, so that makes me very interested in it. It's very provocative. All right. I need to make a selection. You know how I despise making selections in art. You know, I think part of the problem here is that we actually had a full line work. We actually need to kill the line work here too. A little bit. Well, that feels really weird. No, it's okay. I don't mind that. All right, sick. Now for our magic. You know how much I like magic shit. I enjoyed Rings of Power quite a bit. Did you? That's good, man. I'm glad. Listen, I'm never of the opinion that I think people should hate on stuff just because other people don't like it. You saying you like Rings of Power is not such a abhorrent opinion that I think it deserves like me saying I'm never playing D&D with you. Telling me Star Wars Episode 8 was the best Star Wars objectively, that will make me not play D&D with you ever. But simply liking Rings of Power, I think that's fine, man. Glad you liked it. There's too much shit out there that's like unlikable these days that I think it's nice when you find something you enjoy. It's like, I like World of Warcraft. A lot of people tell me that the World of Warcraft story is trashy. It's just like big, hairy, sweaty men yelling things at each other until one of them dies. And it's like, yep. I don't care. I like it. He was like, Arondir Rings of Power cool, but not cool enough to save the show. Wait, which guy? Oh, the sword guy that defended the sorceress is cool. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, what? Okay, what? what I worry about sometimes is that we won't get good fantasy until writers stop trying to write fantasy for people who enjoy modern fantasy. It's almost like if you want your fantasy to be good fantasy, you have to be unappreciated in our current time. Because I think so much of fantasy is just pixie sticks and is like lacking in substance, you know? I think it's like a common complaint a lot of people have, but it's just like not very well articulated. Maybe I'm crazy. But I don't know, man. Maybe Sanderson's the one to do it, though. I'm really excited to actually get into these books. I said I wouldn't start like reading the audiobooks or listening to them really until this winter, but I do have the one that you guys recommended was also recommended to me by one of my players, and that was which one was it? That was Warbreaker. So I'm excited to read Warbreaker soon. Freehold is always yeah. Dude, Dashto, I want to go through and I want to add. I've decided, fuck it, I'm just gonna add a whole bunch of World of Warcraft music to my playlist. I gotta figure out what I need to add though, because which soundtracks are the bangers? Which are the ones that I should add in? You know? Oh, whoops. Where's the shit? No, I didn't mean to do that. I don't know. I need to add in a whole bunch of like World of Warcraft. Where are the different albums? Legion. Was Stormheim good? I forget. Azuna. I've decided screw it. Elwyn? You want me to add Elwyn? Okay. Elwyn Forest by Jason Hayes. Add to playlist. Streaming Evan Blair art. What else? Tavern. Is this a Pepe Jam? Just have all the World of Warcraft taverns in here. Do we feel like we're ready to world build now? Have you been transported into a fantasy universe of strange magics and wonderful, fantastical creatures? Press wait for the show to finish airing to either hype or to hate or to die down to watch the show. Wait, what show? Which one? Aren't they, wait, Rings of Power or Wheel of Time? Are they done? If you do the Barons. Suramar. Add to playlist. Streaming Evan Blair art. I don't know what else. I think we're pretty good. Alright, streaming Evan Blair art. Let's listen to Suramar now as we restart our... There you go. Yeah, it's a good shit right there. There we go. All? I just like waiting for episodes as much as I do people hyping up or hating shows. That's fair. I really enjoy the week to week for some shows. Other shows, I can't stand it, bro. Like, Mandalorian was a good show that I enjoyed watching week to week. Ahsoka, not a good show I enjoy watching week to week. I wanted to watch it all one night. I wanted to get a big old bag of Cheetos. I wanted to sit down. I wanted to watch Star Wars Ahsoka for an entire evening and not worry about a single fucking thing. That's what I wanted. But instead I had to watch it over weeks. Weeks and weeks and weeks of waiting. I hated it. I want a new fantasy movie series, man. I want a new, like, I want something to make me excited for movies like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or Twilight or any of the real great, like, fantasy classics that, you know, persist in film and cinema history until the end of time as the greats. Any of those, that's what I want right now. But alas, we are movieless as fantasy nerds. Maybe not though. I actually, like, I never look at movie like trailers or whatever. I never know what's coming out, what's being made. I don't follow that whole era of society. So maybe there is some cool stuff in the works. Want something to make me as excited as I was the first Iron Man movie? Oh yeah, like old Marvel? Hell yeah. Or like you remember like the old Pirates of the Caribbean movies? They were always bangers when they came out. It was so good for a while when you had like a new Pirates movie, a Star Wars movie, or Lord of the Rings or something like that just coming out on the horizon that you could sort of like wait for. It was just kind of like, it was there, you know? We were in kind of a drought, I feel like. Is that fair to say that we're in a cultural drought in general? The games, movies, media, stories, books, it's all kind of... We're in kind of a drought, for lack of better words. Because I kind of feel that way, but it might be a little contentious to say. Maybe gamers would disagree because they had good titles this year, but... maybe not. I don't know. Yes, no one wants to take any risks. True. True. It's all about safe... whatever projects that'll guarantee the budgets. I wonder if Sanderson books would turn into good movies. Like I wonder if like Mistborn or Stormlight Archives would make a good like series. Kind of like a Game of Thrones type thing. There's got to be talks about making movies or a show or something like that for those, right? But I don't want a show. I don't want 12 episodes of Who Asked. I want a movie, man. I want a cinematic experience. I want to sit in the Cineplex D box, whatever, with the thing that moves and shakes you and fucks your popcorn up and makes you spill your drink all over your lap whenever the fucking horse rides by. Okay, maybe I don't want that. That's, never mind. I don't want anything to do with that. Actually, I'm good. All right, how do you feel about this vignette? If we paint these out, you think it's been good? I kind of like this. I kind of dig it, actually. Everything's getting remaked or revived and whatnot, and they fail to capture the creativity needed to make it good. That's true. The last great adaptation we have was this. Oops. No, we need a trailer. Yep. The last great adaptation we had. That's right. The 2016 World of Warcraft movie. Okay, alright, I'm done. I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. I shouldn't just casually invoke the Warcraft movie. Yeah, my bad. After you watched it, don't worry about it. You're good. Yeah. You can skip it. It's fine. You don't need to. There's lots of things to watch. That's you can take a vacation on that one. You don't need to worry about it. All right, I want to paint out like a couple of these. Let's do. This one has like, ooh, never mind. That already has shadow and shading on it. That's not, we can't do that. We can't do that. Fuck. All right, let's just pick this one. Screw it. Screw it. We'll do it. We'll start with a similar blue. I want to be able to put these into World Anvil articles and make them really like pop. We got some other things we need to do today as well, like look through some Inktober submissions and stuff. Probably do it after the break. I am excited. Yeah, just skip it, Sienna. Warcraft movie, skippable. It's fine. We don't need to dive into that one just yet. That's all right. You need to find the right blue here. All right, found it. Nice. I'm gonna paint this slightly differently. I'm gonna go from the background forward. See if we can do it faster, because I want to get these down a lot quicker. Magic looked great in that movie. A lot looked great about that movie. There was a lot in the movie that was good. Okay? The story and the changes they made to that story was not one of them, unfortunately. Not one of the good things they did. It had its problems, alright? As an Arathi bloodline enjoyer, I didn't like what they did to Lothar. It's probably one of the nerdiest, dumbest things I've ever said, but if you play Warcraft, you know what I mean. Or maybe you don't, because you don't bother reading quest text. In which case, you're the true Giga Chad. True WoW fans don't read quest text. That's what they say. Save a little time, you can just watch just for the VFX. All right. Look, I'm willing to give it a try. I have to ask the rest of our D&D group what they thought of it, Dashto. I think I don't trust Jackie's opinions on things anymore, but Limit maybe. After Jackie told me to read Stormlight, I don't think I trust her anymore. I don't know what I did to make her mad at me, but for her to recommend I start reading Stormlight Archive was a cruel and unusual punishment for something I apparently did to offend her at some point. So, I don't read quest text, but it's because I'm lazy. That's fine. It's okay, Blaze. Just log back into Genshin. You'll be happier. Yeah, it's fine, bro. Don't pressure yourself. Don't put yourself under any extra sweat that you don't need to. Just go back and play some Genshin. You'll be happy. Probably be happier there, so. That's not that mean. Come on, man. Jackie was screaming with excitement at the end of the series, but she's also mad about this one storytelling decision. She's actually Madge. All right. Madge, Jackie, I'm down. Okay. I want to ice the sky down a little bit. It's a little warm. The clouds are a little cool, and I kind of like it. Gotta make it a little bit icier. They're pretty underwhelmed by Ahsoka, though. Did you guys finish Ahsoka? Really? Because I know you guys dropped it, but did you guys finish it? Because episode 5, man. Episode 5. We finished like a week ago. Oh, man. And we didn't talk about this? Holy shit. But to be fair, I don't suppose they ever watched Rebels or Clone Wars, so I guess it wouldn't really... Like, Ahsoka definitely, I don't think regular mainstream Star Wars fans would enjoy much. You have to be, like, deep into Star Wars. And then if you are, it's the best thing ever. And if you aren't, then it's kind of like... okay, but why? So I get that. I understand. The question is, how do I make stories that people care about, like I care about Star Wars? Isn't that the question every writer asks themselves? How do you make something good enough to be worthy of somebody's time? Because there's a lot of stories out there, man. There's a lot of things to do, a lot of media to consume, a lot of things to be to take your time over. How do you do things that excite people? All right, let's do this one a little more icy. There we go. That's what we wanted. That's what we need. Because I want to do this kind of like Aurora-y thing through here. There's these different, like, kind of almost auroras that run through and around the various lands of Teleria that can be seen in the sky. Ink Sketch Andes will know what I'm talking about, but I don't draw them very often otherwise, so... Watch all the stuff, but I still didn't like it that much. The fan service was cool, but the core story dialogue was really sleeper. Yeah, that's fair. I liked it, but it wasn't... Didn't have me on the edge of my seat. There wasn't any Kowakian monkey lizards to make me excited about it. It was lacking in day one Awangas. Where the hell is reselect there? Jesus. Oh man, Photoshop. There's a new Photoshop out. 24 is out, and I'm still using Photoshop 2020. Maybe I should upgrade. The rule of Photoshop is never upgrade unless you absolutely have to. Maybe it's time. Maybe I should upgrade once every 4 years. I've managed to skip 3 years of upgrades. What's good, Azalea? Make something you like, and those who like it will come to you. Oh man, but I don't like anime nearly enough to. Yeah, I don't know, man. I worry about that. All people want these days is anime waifus and hot dommy mommies. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do as a writer, as a creator. So I don't know how it's supposed to work, bro. Thank you, Lord Azalea. Would have been better if Hera wasn't pretty and she was more Bib Fortuna. Yep. Yep, true. Her day one Awangas were severely lacking. But that's okay. I still liked it. I mean, hopefully in general, people kind of like agree with or vibe with the kind of stuff that I'm trying to do. So I know it's fairly niche. There's not a lot of people out there that sort of approach world building via art. I know it's unpopular too. But I'm trying to change that. Try to make a new era for artists. My lofty goals are ambitious and ultimately probably going nowhere, but damn it, I'm happy. I do want to start doing more writing though. I find that the idea of doing writing streams is really difficult though, because writing it with my like streaming setup is really hard, but maybe I'll try one day. Okay, this is too neon-y. We need to fade it. We gotta fade it. go. Perfect. That seemed like a lot of work we just undid, but it actually wasn't. Trust me, it mattered. I'll do some highlights. And this kind of like magic aura thing is like, I don't know, it's fairly poorly understood. A lot of different cultures have a different idea of what it is when it appears around Teleria. World building is unpopular. Well, world building via art. A lot of people in the world building community think that art is like something that works in service of world building and in service of writing. That it itself is not enough to create a story. But I've always thought that that's really short-sighted. I think art, like I made a choice to be an artist because I think that art is the most efficient way of storytelling and world building. Concept art to me is way more efficient than hundreds of fucking World Anvil articles. I'd rather make one piece of concept art than write, 20 articles. I think it ultimately serves the goal better. But a lot of writers don't really understand that. That's fine. I'm not trying to change minds, more just like expand the category. But like all the dudes from World Anvil are really cool and supportive of it. Which is why I like that community so much. I like the people that like run World Anvil. It's because they're all very like encouraging and, oh fuck yeah, this is awesome. You have a World Anvil article that's just a piece of art and they're like, sick, Okay, try and make this cloud not look like a Star Destroyer. Don't look like a Star Destroyer. Shit. Concept art is so necessary, I think. That's kind of cool. I like that. All right, foreground bullshit. Be fairly icy for all this. Okay. If it's not a strange, obtuse rock formation, it's not an Eldar or Eldara rock. Let's face it. Doesn't have to make sense. Has to feel right. Thanks, Dork. I appreciate it, man. Reminds me of a class I had in art school for comic design. How art was the way to communicate with all people. Since language is super closed off, we can all understand a visual language of symbols, and like the sun and the moon. Yeah, there's like, man, I go so deep on that, but yeah, I think art's really efficient. You can make people feel like ultimately, what are you trying to do when you write a story? When you're trying to set a scene, set a tone, set the mood, whatever. You're trying to make people feel a certain way. And I feel like you can do that with art very efficiently, in a way that like writing doesn't quite do on its own. You can get there, or you can arrive there with writing ultimately, but kind of missing a big component. That makes sense. That I see anyway. Yeah, this is nice. It's kind of twilighty. It's like purples and blues. I should use different daytime or different times of day for some of these actually. For instance, the reason I have glass in lead images in churches depicted Bible stories is because the larger populace was illiterate. That's right. A lot of post-Renaissance art was a lot more literal. It's a very interesting thing that happens once you get post-Renaissance art that, or sorry, post-medieval, I should say. Sorry. Post-medieval Renaissance art. It becomes a lot more like clear and like subject oriented. It wasn't an inside sort of like knowledge for those who understood what the meaning was of the art. It was supposed to be depictions of things for people to understand the emotionality of the stories that they were being told, that they were learning and being taught. It's like, it's pretty cool, man. Which is why I favor art that has a style of longevity. And for like characters specifically, I try to stay with like more of a pseudo comic book style that's like a little more trendy, but also like has longevity, as opposed to like working with something that has the kind of stylization that anime does. So I'm trying to make it long lasting. So I'm going to be invested already to have invest a chunk of time reading something for long form. Yes, yeah. Which, like I said, writing can do that really well. It's just I think art does it in such a unique, charming, and efficient way. There's a lot of beauty in it that I love exploring. Let's get our pink cherry blossom trees in here, because why not? We need more of these in the world. A little bit too desaturated. There we go. Our olive green. There we go. Nice. Nice. Probably gonna return to doing some like heavy character design stuff next week, but I want to take a break this week and just do some other stuff. Some class design, bit of a breather from just straight up character art. But I still think character art is the most important thing I can do right now for stream stuff. So I'll probably get back to doing that next week. But I always enjoy doing environments and stuff, taking time for that. Okay. Need to Bob Ross some tree branches in here. He's always hiding shit everywhere, as if everything that he was painting was a secret between him and the viewer. Crazy good way of getting people involved. Still probably the biggest art streamer on Twitch. I think, remember the whole thing with literary storytelling versus visual storytelling was the one is favorite universities or favorite in universities over the other. Example, this was our philosophy teacher looked down on comic art because she didn't consider it actual art and was only meant for children. Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, you get people like that. That's fine. A lot of it is, though, like I'm sympathetic to that sort of like people who feel that way, because I do understand where they're coming from. You know, it's like they don't really understand it type thing. So I'm not mad at people for having that opinion. You just like kind of ignore them and move on as an artist. You just do your own thing. It's like people sometimes get the impression that I really don't like certain art styles, like anime or whatever, when I just talk about like why I don't really use it or do it all that often. It's not because I like dislike it or think it's like what, you know, it has problems, but every style has problems. It's all about what you want out of your art. I do think a lot of artists, though, cope with being bad at art by trying to do something very stylistic. And it's like, should always ask yourself, if you're an artist, why do you choose a style you choose? Was it an intentional thing because you love that style, or is there like some aspect of it? And I say this because I know there's artists who longingly sort of like look at other artists, and like we talk occasionally. Artists do interact once in a while, and I'll hear artists who are like, you know, really big, like, I don't know, comic or anime artists being like, oh man, I wish I could paint in like this style or that style, or do art like this guy or that guy, but like, oh well, I guess I'll just keep making anime, making comics, or making like, you know, whatever, cartoony something or another. And like, whoa, hold on, that's why you're doing this stuff, is because you don't want to do the other stuff? What? It is kind of a safe haven sometimes. You like start getting approval for the type of art that you do stylistically, and suddenly people flock to it because it's trendy, but then you like sort of give up on where you wanted to be or make it as an artist. Kind of have to remind yourself in some ways like why you're doing this. It's important to have perspective on what you want out of your art. How's this art stuff going? I think it's going well. I don't know. We're trying something new today, Nick. Hopefully it goes good. Doing a little bit of a departure, a little bit of a break to do some little environment vignettes. I'm enjoying it. I think it's good. We gotta add our stars in here, I guess. Shit, man. Or like haunting moonlight as well. Gotta keep it all fairly low saturated to run that across. It's kind of hard to ignore considering she always graded us lower than other art courses. Ah, it's fine. Like, grades don't matter. Grades in art school don't matter. Nobody cares when you go to art school. No one gives a shit in the real world what your art grades were. Doesn't fucking matter. The real goal as an artist in art school is where can you sacrifice your grades to get better at art and to like build a portfolio. Like, sure, play the game and stuff and whatever and be a good student if you want, but like at the end of the day, when you go to apply for the studio you want to get into, or when you start a Twitter account or whatever it is you want out of art, nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to give a shit about what your grades were in school. Maybe if you have like I don't know, if you go into like software engineering or something, maybe people give a shit about what your grades were for like your first job or something. I don't know. Maybe med school, but like for art, nah. Art's like, did you get the piece of paper? Great. What's your portfolio look like? Oh, nice, cool, you're hired. Right? I took I proudly took bad grades in certain classes because I wanted to do something better than what the assignments suggested. You know, like there is some advantage, I will admit, to learning different styles of art, different mediums, different whatevers. But like the big decision came in fourth year when we had our children's book, what was it? Basically, it was children's book illustration with an entire course. And I don't know why we had that course. I think it was like a sort of a bit of a legacy course for like, you know, if you imagine being an illustrator, like where are the things that you're going to make money as an illustrator back in like 1994? And that's like one of them, you know. There's like corporate illustration, whatever, like character design for like shows and stuff. There wasn't really a concept art category, but there was like children's book illustration. And so we just took it as a character design course and just like changed everything about it and didn't do the stylistic choices and stylistic things that the instructor wanted us to do. And she was really mad about it because she was like a children's book artist and like a pretty well-known one, I guess. And so she like really took offense to our like disregard of it. Like, nah, I don't want to do this. We're gonna do this. So she always like threatened. She's like, you can do this something like this, but I'm the best grade you're gonna earn is a C. And we're like, okay, all right, sure, man. So we took C's and D's through that course all the time and didn't give a fuck because we got what we wanted out of it, which was more important than the actual course, the assignment or whatever. But it's hard to like recommend anyone do that because you have to be you have to have some knowledge and understand that sometimes there are courses that are trying to teach you something that you don't necessarily understand what the lesson is until you've done it later. But you should still sort of respect the course material. Like, she was jealous of your art? No, it wasn't a jealousy thing. It was just a she was just very like, I think she didn't she didn't like that we just like were not interested whatsoever in her career path. But whatever. If I remember correctly, one of my German roommates back in the day told me that they actually do look at your report card for school and university apparently when applying for jobs and stuff. As an artist, absolutely not. As an artist, they don't look at shit. Maybe it's different. I don't know how they do it in Europe. Maybe y'all got some crazy shit. Maybe y'all have like public access like grades or something with your fucking blood type ID cards or something. But here, NA side, you apply to like a game studio, they're probably not even going to check to see if your degree is real. You say, oh yeah, I have a bachelor of design from the Emily Carr in Vancouver, BC. They're gonna be like, cool. That's probably it. They probably aren't. There's probably not even gonna be validation or verification or anything in there. You know, they do not give a shit when it comes to art. Use a creative or use an artist, they don't give a fuck, man. Any design house, they don't give a fuck. Like if you apply to a local design house or company or whatever as a graphic designer or a typographist or any of those type of things, they do not give a fuck about your degree. The degree is just to show that you're not a piece of shit and that you can actually sit through something that you might not want to do. They like if you're good enough, they probably don't even care if it's real or not. So they don't do that in the Netherlands either for anything, but according to her, it's a whole thing. So they want to know you actually work hard or something. Yeah, well, there's no way to pull transcripts for somebody. I'm pretty sure you can't pull. Like, I could be wrong about this. Like, could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can't pull transcripts for somebody. Like, they have to provide it for you for like certain things, like maybe for certain schools or whatever. Like maybe a hospital can pull transcripts for like a med student or whatever, but like for art school, man, if they were like, hey, show me your grades, and I was like, no, they were like, okay, and that's it. I never got asked for anything. Now, to be fair, I did. You need to put it along with your application. Oh fuck, man. Yeah, that's never been a thing here. That's if it's more of a social like requirement, I could see that, but yeah, that's totally not a thing here. That's crazy. That's crazy that they care about that. Because, like, what are you going to do? You see an artist that has an amazing portfolio, but you're like, oh, brother only got D's. Ah, man. All right, let's take this inferior artist that's way worse than what they do, doesn't understand fundamentals and can't do design work, but they got B's and A's. I think there's, like, an understanding, like, NA side that, like, the school system inherently doesn't, like, have the necessarily like the best like school systems, and I don't think it's an NA problem either. I think it's, you know, universal to all post-secondary, even NA and EU, but I think that in general NA has this general disregard for the school system that's like healthy or unhealthy depending on how you look at it. They're like, ah, fuck it, yeah, maybe your instructor didn't like you, fuck them, dude, you're really good at what you do, let's go. It's like that for creative professions and trades here, especially. You know, you do not need to get a good grade in your trade courses to like become a welder or a plumber or whatever. Or where I live, I've had friends that get offered a job as like, you know, I had a friend that had specifically a welder that got offered a job in his second year of like a 3-year program, and he just dropped out. He just dropped out. He's like, I got my job, I don't need it. I'm like, what if you want to apply to different jobs? He's like after that, he's like, well, then I already have the experience of this one. I'm like, I don't fucking need it. I'm like, okay, cool. Sure, man. You know? What I do know is I'm going to need to get a second opinion from some of my new German friends, double check, but guys, yeah. Yeah, it's probably different everywhere you go. Very different even based on the countries of where you are in EU, because like I'd say Canada and the US are pretty similar in this kind of stuff, but it's probably more, there's probably less similarities between two countries in Europe than there are between Canada and the US for certain things like that, like schooling or whatever. It's like I don't even know how it works. I wonder, is schooling more affordable for out of country students in like Europe? Like if they got their whole like fucking union thing going on, does that mean that if you want to, if you're from Belgium and you want to go school in France, do you still have to pay like outrageous fuck you like out of country fees, or is that like an exclusive invention to Canada and the US? That we can take so much pride in making our school oppressively expensive. Because in that case, maybe it is more similar. I don't know. But in my neck of the woods, it's yeah, I don't know. School's weird out here. Art school is something that I have such a difficult time sometimes. Like I always try and like I meme a lot on stream, but I always try and take questions about being a professional artist very seriously from other like either aspiring or whatever professional artists. Because even though I don't think that I'm the best example, I don't think I should be giving everyone advice. You know, like I'm just a loser sitting here talking about fucking nerd shit all day. Don't follow my career. But I try and be like, when people like ask, I try and be very honestly, you know, and give good feedback. But art school, the question of if art school is valid or useful or whatever, is such a difficult one, man. It's so difficult. Actually, I really like this one. Different time of day. I really dig this one, actually. I'm glad I did this. As far as I know, schools have an agreement with one another. You can only go to schools that have that deal. Oh. So, like, once you're good enough to get into a certain school in Germany, you can get into, like, all the other schools that they like from, you know, the UK to Belarus or whatever. I don't fucking know. There's some degree of cooperation when it comes to exchange students and programs and stuff. That's nice, because it's like, even in Canada and the US, there's an out of province and out of state, like, fee that you have to pay. One of the reasons why I went to school in the city I grew up in was because there's no way I could have asked my parents to help me out with like school in the US, certainly not, and even not in like in Vancouver, because like when I was going through school, the big art school to go to, and I'm actually really glad I didn't go, was called Emily Carr, and it's kind of maybe the most prestigious art school in Canada. Maybe, I don't know. The thing is, people in the East Coast are always very proud of their institutions, and they think that they're the best simply because they don't, like, Eastern Canada does not regard Western Canada as a valid piece of the country. But I think on, like, I don't think that any of the, even if they're maybe more prestigious socially art schools out east, I don't think they're as good as Emily Carr as far as like instruction and like careers and shit after. But I could be wrong. Maybe it's changed now. But when I was going, that was certainly the case. So I wanted to go. I was considering going, but like, holy fuck, man. It was like, you had to pay because you were not from British Columbia. Like, out the ass. And it's like, you know, I'm Canadian, right? And they're like, I don't care. You weren't born in Vancouver. You can't afford anything. And now it's like, I don't care. You're born in Vancouver. You still can't afford anything. That's okay, though. I'm happy with the school I went to, I guess. If I could go do it again, I really would have loved to go to like Art Center in LA or something. But then I would have had to go to LA. And California is a shithole, so I don't know if I want to go to school there for 4 years. But either way, art school is like really difficult to figure out if it's like worth it for the individual person, the individual student, because like it's so possible to have a flourishing career without ever touching art school. But like, how do you tell somebody that 9 out of 10 artists, or maybe 19 out of 20 artists that make, probably more like 19 out of 20 artists that make the decision to forego art school are nowhere near as good as they think they are to need to like to be able to do that, you know? Which is why I like always recommend, like, let's see how disciplined you actually are. Let's see if you can like do crazy hours and work really hard on your own with no external help other than your own decision to do it. And if you can't do that because you're mortal and not like crazy, then you probably need art school, you know? I mean, I was thinking of following exchange program to San Francisco for comics for 6 months, but America genuinely scares me. Yeah, I mean, it's expensive. It's expensive as shit. That would have been an unreal amount of money to go. So, yeah, that's pretty bad, man. That's pretty bad. Probably couldn't probably could get a degree for a 4-year program for cheaper than the 6-month exchange to San Francisco. It scares Americans too. Yeah, it's expensive, bro. You try and go to school. Like, I don't even know what, I feel so bad for kids coming up, like, who are like turning 17, 18, 19 right now. It's like, what do you do, man? How do you process, how do you navigate the cost of post-secondary and everything as like an 18-year-old? Holy shit. So I say, man, if I was a kid right now, I would 100% go join like the Air Force or some shit for 4 years, and then just get the free ride through school tuition. Absolutely, no cap. That's what I would do. Take that free ride, serve your whatever time, your X years that you have to go, your 6 years or something like that. It's probably for free school. Get out of school at 20, or get out of the Air Force or whatever at fucking 24. I had a friend who did that, who paid for an entire engineering degree for free because she went to the Air Force for 6 years. And she's like, I'm 30 with 0 student debt and a degree. Do you know how far along I am, more so than everyone else? Dashto has redeemed the Monka microtransaction. 1 million channel points. Wow, man. To think the day would come that anyone would have 1 million channel points. Dashto is officially the second person ever to achieve 1 million channel points, but the first person ever to waste those 1 million channel points on a Monka microtransaction. Dashto. I want to purchase a permanent ban immunity, an MMO development team, a spot in your D&D game, an Eldar, a music license. Oh. Dashto, please roll for me a D100. Please roll a D100 for the Monka microtransaction. Let's see it. We need to decide. We need fate to decide. It's just D100. There's no roll. Wait. Oh, you said purchase. I thought you said repurchase. No, it's just exclamation D100. Holy shit. What the fuck, man? I didn't think this was so hard. Do you never roll D100s for Green Dragon checks? Of course you wouldn't. Dashto has rolled the dice and gets a 45. Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. Dashto, as a redeemer of the Monka microtransaction, you have officially earned your VIP badge. There you go. Congratulations. Was it worth 1 million channel points? Was it worth 1 million channel points? Oh man. There it is, bro. There it is. Dashto, you have officially secured a VIP badge for Evan Blur Art. including the Monka microtransaction package, which is actually so the Monka microtransaction is depending on the rule, of course, because we can't just let somebody just spend it 100 million channel points without it being RNG. Come on, man. You, my friend, have earned yourself a very special art package that I would ask you if you wanted it, but let's face it, you'll probably say yes. So I will be, rather than asking you if you want your art package for your 1 million channel points, I will be just sending you your art package for 1 million channel points. However, I will be sending it to the incorrect address, because since you moved 2 months ago, you still haven't told Ella and I what your correct address is. So you're probably fucked, actually, if I think about it, you know, really hard. But yeah, you're probably in some ways just screwed out of it. But you know, thank you for the 1 million channel points. That's a long ass time to be. That's a long ass time. Wait, I just closed my chat. Off of my shit. No, docket. There we go. I had to redock it into my Streamlabs. Okay, we're good. Almost broke everything. The badge of shame. Ella is informed. All right. And you get to a special Discord role. A special Discord role for the Monka microtransactor. I have not made this role yet. Server settings. Roles. Loser simp. Create role. We'll give it a bright pink. Loser simp. There we go. And we'll just go in here. My friends, it is a great honor to add to Dashto the official Monka microtransactor badge, because it is a special kind of person to earn 1 million channel points watching a stream. All right, that means you've been here since the very beginning. You've been here for basically almost every single stream. Congratulations, Dashto. I am honored. I am privileged to gift to you the first Monka microtransaction badge in Discord. Congratulations, guys. This is an important day. Dashto, you've solidified yourself as a member of TDC for all time, and I would like to formally invite you to play a D&D game with me, having redeemed your Monka microtransaction. Will everyone who gets microtransaction be invited to a D&D game? Maybe. You don't know. It could be completely different for the next person who wins it. You have no fucking clue. Maybe the next person who wins it, I just flip him off and ban him, and that's it. Dashto gets VIP, and he gets invited to my D&D game, as well as the art package. So I actually do have something to send people who redeem the Monka microtransaction. So I don't want to ruin the surprise. Okay, I legitimately don't want to ruin the surprise until Dashto gets it. So you guys will be informed next week, I guess, as to what the art is that somebody gets for winning the Monka microtransaction. And also, you won the race too. You got the race for the Monka microtransaction. You beat out Thorkin. You beat out Cobalt. You are the most loser simp out of everyone who's been here since the beginning. So congratulations. Except for Ella. She's the biggest loser. She is the biggest loser simp. She has more channel points than you, and she flexes on it by not even redeeming them. So Ella's more channel points than me? Yes, but you're the only one who's redeemed it, though. So let's face it. Damn, bro. That's a lot of channel points. How long has it been? How many streams has it been to earn 1 million channel points? Oh my god. That's so many channel points. Like, what the fuck, dude? That's a lot of streams to show up for. I appreciate it, man. Seriously. I appreciate you being here from the beginning, supporting me since even before my stream started. 1 million channel points is, if nothing else, memes aside, a extremely dedicated contribution to my streaming career. That means you're always here, and like simply being here means a big deal to my stream. The success or failure of a Twitch stream often comes down to things like viewership and whatever, and community. You know, do you have a great community of people? Do you have a chat that you like? Do you have, you know, from Twitch's side, do you have, you know, people watching your stream? And just being here to contribute to channel, you know, earning your channel points means that you were here for a lot of streams, whether you were working or whatever, or lurking. It means a great deal to me that you were here. So thanks for being here since the beginning, man. Damn, bro, 1 million channel points. I didn't think anyone would get 1 million channel points this year. I thought maybe the first Monka microtransaction would be next year. I'm impressed. I hope you're looking forward to your official EBA Monka microtransaction art. No, it's not just going to be a picture of Bobby Kotick smiling. I promise that much. It won't just be Uncle Bobby. It'll be different art, okay? God damn, bro. 1 million channel points. How many people even earned 1 million channel points in any Twitch stream? Like, let alone a streamer that doesn't stream as much, or a streamer who streams as little as I do. That's fucking insane, man. Gotta get back to work? Alright, yeah, okay, see ya. Bye. Fucking Jesus Christ. Alright. I look forward to, I will give you guys Dashto's reaction when he receives his reward for the 1 million channel point reward next week when he's here. If he even shows up. I'm still concerned that he's gonna see the weather and say, nah, fuck that shit, I'm not coming to Canada. I ain't going to Canada. Fuck that, man. Are you kidding? So we'll see, bro. We'll see. Probably getting things for IRL. Yeah, that's true. Actual hand delivery. Ella gets to hand deliver a bunch of her advent calendars, and I get to hand deliver my first Monka microtransaction to the biggest simp in EBA. That's crazy. No, I'm excited. I have something that I kind of want. I don't want to like ruin the surprise, but I have something that I worked on a while ago that I want to a little art print that I made for the Monka microtransactors. It's a little special to me, so I will show you guys when Dashto earns it, and then future microtransaction holders can decide whether they want to waste 1 million channel points worth of their time on my chat or not. That's fucking crazy, though. 1 million, goddamn. Oh wait, I was gonna take a break after this one. Fuck, I need to get new water. Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna do that real quick. I'll be back. Give me a minute. No revolts, no uprisings, no usurpations, as usual. All right. We back. We back with the rice cake. Let's go. Disgusting, disgusting rice cakes. Let's fucking go. But I need a snacky. And snacky we shall have. All right. All right, all right, all right. Okay. So this one is our desert. Ooh. Location. No rings in the sky though here. Maybe I'm throwing. I don't know. I'm gonna have lots of different locales for our players. After all, the best thing about D&D is locations, right? Not the loot. Actually, that'd be an interesting like poll to like run on Twitter. Just ask like what the single best thing about D&D is. You could ask that question, probably get better and more honest answers by asking what the single greatest thing about Baldur's Gate is. People try and give you like meaningful, like dramatic answers about D&D, like, oh, it's the time with my friends. No, it isn't. Shut up. You don't care. Like, what? Shut up. No. Fuck off. But you'll get like, you're like, oh, what's the best thing about Baldur's Gate? It's like, I don't know. I like putting gnomes in barrels and throwing them at people with explosives. They're like, great. We've just solved it. We know what the best thing about D&D is now for this person. Let's go. Could be a large slingshot. Yeah, I mean, maybe. You got there in the Elder Days, or after the Elder Days, before, or after the temple was long abandoned. In the before times, perhaps it is. You don't know. Do a knowledge religion. I don't fucking know. You're the archaeologist. You tell me. I just drew a monolithic structure in the middle of the desert. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I didn't have the World Anvil article ready to go until the party said they didn't care about the lore and they just wanted to move on past. I didn't write an entire subplot dungeon event for the party to go to, only to have it blown off and the next town be pursued. The things I would never tell my players if that happened. If I had a whole thing planned and my players just like blew it off, I would never tell them. I wouldn't tell them until the very end of the game, so I'd never tell them while we're playing. And then I wouldn't tell them anything about what it was, so that they have to miss out on it forever. If there's one thing D&D is missing, it's terrible, crippling FOMO. That's one of the things that Baldur's Gate has. That like Baldur's Gate will inform you when you've missed something. You walk through a basement, you see a perception check failed 4 times on all 4 of your characters, and you're like, shit, what did I miss? Was it a jar with 3 gold?
How exciting.
You know? Oh, shit, yo, Cat doesn't math. Thank you for the raid, I appreciate it. Welcome in. Welcome in, my friends. Good to have you. Good to see you. How was stream? Tell me your tales. Tell me if stories had, adventures wrought. What's going on today? Last seen playing Science and Technology. Hold up. That sounds like an interesting as hell stream. What were y'all doing? What's up, Chaotic Brain? Good to see you. Monkey Man. My players don't follow through on the plot lines, then they get to find out later after the plot is finished. You learned maths? Damn, bro. That's actually super pog. I didn't wait. Y'all are actually doing like cool math shit on stream? Bro, that's actually so cool. I'm way too dumb, but I have a deep love and passion for mathematics and physics. I'm dumb, so I just make art. So, but that's actually awesome. I'm super happy to. Wow, that's really cool, man. Thank you, Chaotic Brain Person, for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you again for the raid, y'all. Welcome in. We're doing vignettes for our D&D game. We're drawing little little environments for our players to look at and say, ooh, that was cool. I was teaching systems of equations. I'm a math PhD student and used Twitch to SciComm. Figured it's time for some chill time. Place looks great, dude. I appreciate that. Kat, I'm gonna, if you don't mind, if it's okay, if it's okay with you, just real quick, I'm just gonna give you a sneaky little follow here because I'm super interested in that. Like I said, I have a deep love and a passion for physics and mathematics. I'm just dumb, so deeply intrigued. Yeah, that's pretty sick, dude. I appreciate it. Cheers. Thanks for the raid again. Yes, we're just doing some art for our players. Normally I do like character art. Normally the kind of thing I do is like characters for my D&D games like this. But today we're taking a bit of a break from characters, and we're drawing environments. So good to have y'all. Hope you're enjoying your day, whatever time it is for you. And get comfy, man. You're talking about what to do when your players in your D&D game miss the big story cues, and how to create an unhealthy sense of FOMO, which is the real end objective of all D&D players, is crippling FOMO for your players. Which, mind you, I do think Baldur's Gate does really well, because like I said, they tell you when you miss something, and then you feel bad about it and you want to go back. But in D&D, when you're playing, us GMs, we always let you off the hook. And I say no more to that. I think that GMs now should give the players nothing but hints as to the things they've missed and not let them go back. Right? Like, give them a perception check, tell them they failed it, and they're like, oh, can I keep looking around? It's like, no, you can't. Sorry. You don't find anything. No matter what they do, don't let them find anything. Just so they know they missed out. It's that kind of toxicity I like in my D&D game. I don't know how you like yours, but kidding. Those are impressive, so I have to run and get some dinner, but have a great rest of your stream. I appreciate you, Kat. Thanks for the raid again. Make your voice a lot louder when you're referring to important things. That's true. That's one way to do it. Yeah. That's a veteran technique. When they miss the story cues, then you tell them to go sit in a corner and think about what they've done or not. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of joking. Yeah, don't worry, me too. Don't worry, we're on the same page. We're good. All right, arid desert landscape. Let's go. But like, I think that's why safe scumming in Baldur's Gate was really popular with people, because no one wanted to miss out on, like, you know the book, like the Book of the Dead or whatever that you get access to in Act 1 in the underground cellar. On my first stream playthrough, I missed that entirely because I failed the perception check for the back rooms, right? I would have been so mad if I never like had access to that entire story because of it. I don't mind like failing a save or something and then something doesn't happen, but when you fail a perception check to even like try, that makes me mad. All right. God, that's so cool. I didn't know anyone was doing like STEM stuff on Twitch. Doing math and science communication. That's pretty cool, man. I'm intrigued. I told my chat a couple months ago that I was entering my attempt at earning a degree in physics online over the next 10 years, which has already begun and is going well. Hopefully one day I'll be smart enough to actually earn it, to finish it. Until then, I'll just tell myself I am and instead draw dragons and shit. Alright. I think this probably is going to be in Lemashir. So we'll do that kind of like golden sand as opposed to the reddish sand of the south. I want to finish the sky. I really want to try and make a workflow of working back to like background to foreground on these pieces. And just kind of like do it automatically after a certain point, you know? Which is super important for artist workflow, I think. Like for the weapons we do on Fridays, those are like really almost automatic workflow at this point in time. If we could build vignettes as the same sort of thing, that'd be pretty pog. I still don't know what this thing does, but we'll assume it was important to somebody at some point. It doesn't quite look Eldar-IE. It kind of looks more Kelhetan, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Okay. Maybe we'll paint our mountains a little more ready so they have that sense of like, maybe this isn't like quite the northernmost point of the desert. Or maybe I'm overthinking where this is physically in the world way too much. That could also be definitely a possibility. I don't know why, but whenever I think of deserts, I always think of Thorkin's world for some reason. I know his world's not like exclusively deserts, but there's some pretty important deserts in there. It's like the way each artist and world builder handles their desert's always so different. It's similar, but has its own uniqueness, you know? Get our blues in there. Honestly, if you want to understand like color theory for environments, it's like deserts are the best thing to draw. They just force you into having to use your like atmospheric colors and shit. It's great. Oh yeah, maybe we'll put some like, I don't know, relics or something in the sand as well. That's always a option. Kelhead's supposed to be like kind of a land of lost civilizations anyway, so. Okay, I'll make it a little more ready. That's what we wanted. Okay, it might be new nib time pretty soon here. I know it doesn't appear on stream, but my pen keeps like skipping over brushstrokes. I think I gotta order some more, actually. Yep, just did it again. Damn it. Actually, I wonder if this would be a good time to explore other, like normally when I draw old shit in Eldara, it's always, like, Eldari stuff, but doing a Kelhet temple has me thinking. I wonder what it'd be like to try and draw a bunch of, like, old, like, ancient civilizations in between the founding of the world and now. I think it was Matt Colville who was talking about how every good D&D world needs an ancient civilization. I think he's right. It's probably a video somewhere around there. All right. Do our highlights and then we'll do our temple after. An old astral sage / night structures. Yeah, those are challenging. Like we that's what these are. These like temples, these like strange shaped temples. These are all astral sage temples. Because like the whole thing with the sages is I want to create a sense of divide between modern sages and ancient sages, which even then it's kind of complicated though, because even an ancient sage temple is still more modern than like it I don't know. There's like an old world and then like a truly ancient world. It's like a lot of people wouldn't like a lot of people who think of like the ancient world in history context don't, and like this is gonna sound stupid because like we're all D&D players, but like they don't necessarily differentiate between like, you know, the Romans of like 2,000 years ago and the Greeks or whoever of like 3,000 years ago, or the Egyptians of 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. It's just all kind of like generally old, you know. But like I think that that's like an interesting thing to explore with the sages. It's like, well, what was the sage civilization and culture like, you know, in the early days, thousands of years ago, versus what are the Eldari structures like tens of thousands of years ago, and how do those things both have footprints that are unique on the modern world? I don't know, man. Nerdy world building shit. It's kind of stuff I like. Romans are as old to us as the Egyptians were to the Romans. Yeah, I mean that's like kind of an interesting thing to explore. I think in world building is like what's old and what's like actually old, you know? Because like a lot of people would probably, if you ask the average person, and I don't mean like the average like online internet using whatever, but just like a person on the street, what the big difference between the Greeks and the Romans were, you probably wouldn't get very, you know, detailed answers, right? Which sometimes we get in our head as like history buffs and world builders, because we have to know that kind of stuff. It's like how fantasy in general can sort of be anywhere from like early Dark Ages to like late Renaissance, and it all feels right. You have like, you know, 5th century Viking swords next to like 14th century Italian like armor, and it all just kind of feels right artistically. But like really, man, there's like 1,000 years in between those two things. Like holy shit, bro. There's a big difference. We'll try and do like the white stone. Yes. That's what we wanted. What's 9 centuries between friends? Yeah, when it's like they're still using swords. It's fine. It's all the same shit. But then I think like when you really start getting like super like, you know, I mean, like late Renaissance, it probably feels like it doesn't feel like fantasy anymore. I don't know, you see a lot of game art too. You see art that's inspired by, but I think it's cool. Like, you know, Magic the Gathering, the card game, has a world called Innistrad that's all kind of inspired by like, I don't know, like 18th century like fashion and general sort of vibe, but has like a very swords and sorcery kind of feel to it too. Like, it's just interesting how you can kind of convert those different like ages or whatever into fantasy, as long as it all kind of works, as long as it's like fairly low tech and fairly high magic. The vibe can sort of like transition really well. And so you see paintings that say Caravaggio. Yeah, they draw Bible stories. The soldiers all dressed like 16th century soldiers. Wait, really? Caravaggio wasn't on point. Not an expert in Italian painters, so that's kind of funny, actually. I like that. You're gonna get strange oddities like that through history, and I think it's cool. Okay. Desaturate our stone. We don't have like a general like visual guide for Kelhettan structures yet, so we're kind of building that as we do stuff like this, which is kind of fun. I think this like white stone is going to be really important to them. You're going to see it a lot across like runes. Kind of like how the old pyramids were clad in shiny white and gold and whatever, supposedly. If the Egyptians even built the pyramids. All right, this looks good. This is where I wanted. Muddied up a little bit. A little more monochromatic than the last one, but that's okay. We should have done something interesting with the sky, but that would have been a choice to make when I was sketching it out a while ago. So, oh well. The blue's kind of getting a little green. That's weird. Not mad about it. I just think it's interesting. Okay. Late Renaissance would slowly go into steampunk fantasy. Yeah, it can. But then you get like you get Innistrad that goes to it goes into like really deep sort of like almost gothic fantasy. It's not clear that the 16th century painters knew what Roman soldiers would have dressed like. Yeah, basically they're just winging it, you know. All the like Italian frescoes had that problem. I just, like I said, I'm not a big, not all that knowledgeable about Italian painters, so I don't know the specific references. Wait, why bonk? Any quick lore? What's the upside down arch on the pedestal? Kelhet Venus. So this is a it was supposed to be a monument to one of the this is the symbol of one of the Kelhet deities. I don't remember the name. It's in the World Anvil article, but this is not Eldari or Astral Sage or anything like this. This is a little bit more recent than that. Still old, still ancient, still lost, but more recent than like sages or anything like that. Any of that nerd shit. Hold on, we need our yellows to be a little brighter here. There you go. Oops. All right. I didn't think we'd get through so many of these today. I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm impressed. I'm especially impressed that this one didn't have a fucking Eldari ring in it. Wait, do they all besides this one? Oh no, okay, not this two. Damn, maybe we should add something in there. Otherwise, it's kind of boring. I don't know. Maybe we should do a background for these cards. Like an underlayer or whatever. Let's see. Maybe it'll look better if we do something like that. Oops. Make a selection. Okay. Okay. This will either look really good or really shitty and trashy. I have no idea. Wait, what? Why? What? Oh, okay. I see. We were on a wrong layer. It kind of reminds you of the sketch cards if we do it like that. Meh. Maybe we should just leave it. Either white or leave it. Oh, that's not bad, actually. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it on this one. We'll see if it works on other ones as well. Hold up. We're seeing. Oh, never mind. I tried to move. Silly me. I tried to move something in Photoshop, and of course the program froze. So I guess we'll wait here for the program to unfreeze. We'll see if I just lost everything. Be old enough that elves or dwarves would still possibly remember them. Well, the elves and dwarves are not the only elder races of the world, so many of the civilizations would still remember stories of the Kelhens. They were like, so the Kelhettans, there's a whole, wait, is there a command? I forget. I don't think so, no. Oh, it is. Oh, fuck yeah. That's awesome. I don't know who made that command, but fuck you. Thinking ahead of me. God damn it, make me look bad. Yeah, they were, oh, it unfroze. They were doing their own thing long before sort of the modern age, and a lot of the old cultures and kingdoms still persisted, so they'd be around, I guess. They remember them. They remember them for being pretty bad, actually. They don't really have fond memories of the Kelhet civilization. Let me move it. Okay, there we go. I was moving the wrong one. My bad. Okay, I actually like that. That's really cool. Maybe, oh man, I wonder if we could add these into the trading card game. It's not a game, but the trading cards. There is, hell yeah. Darkin outthinking me, man. I appreciate you. Think of either painting my reflection in the window or my doorway. So the difference between a still life doorway and a whole ass self-portrait is pretty big, Venus. I don't know. I guess if you're up to the challenge, do the self-portrait, because why not? It's hard. I don't do like it's like a thing for artists, Venus. We should just like do a self-portrait every year that we're live. That's like a thing that artists used to do back when like art was hard. I really feel like we should like bring back that tradition. Lots of artists still do it, but I don't know. I'm always too like lazy to do it, so do your yearly self-portrait. You'll thank yourself later. All right. Things I don't think this one's gonna work though, because I already did like a whole fill layer in the sky. So I was trying to be cute. Damn it, Pillar's Reach. You let me down. That'd be kind of a fun stream to do, Venus, though, trying to do a self-portrait day. That would be chaotic, though. I think I'd have to focus too much to be able to, like, interact with the stream. Okay, it's hard? Hell yeah. The hardest part is to start anyway, so when I do, I might as well go big or go home. In my case, under my blanket with the free Steam games. There you go. There you go, Venus. I'm proud of you. You know what you want in life, and you're going to go for it. You'll never be great if you shy away from difficult things, so do it. Let's see it. Get that self-portrait in there. Do it, and then look back on it in 10 years and say, holy shit. The last time I did a self-portrait, I think, was in art school. Mostly because, I don't know, I had reasons. Maybe I could do a self-portrait next year. Maybe we'll see where I'm at next year with my health journey. We'll see if I'm all the way there yet. And if I am, I'll do a self-portrait. The thing I'm terrified of doing is portraiture of people I know. Like, it's also kind of this like romantic thing that artists used to do, where they'd like draw portraits of their spouses and stuff. But I'm too scared to draw Ella. She's too pretty. I don't want to mess it up, you know? So I'll just draw D&D characters and look vaguely like her instead. You know, that's probably easier. And then I never actually have to tackle portraiture of people. It's also why I don't want to ever do, like, I never agree to do portraits of people for their D&D characters. They're like, oh, can you draw my orc but make them look like me? I'm like, no. Not doing it. Nope. People get mad. They're like, my nose isn't that pointy, and we're like, actually it is. So I don't like doing it. I just you never know who's gonna be sane about it and who's gonna be not, so we'll tell you to draw cat ears on yourself and then tell you that's your inner self. I'm not drawing cat ears. Stop. I'm not doing a self-portrait. It's just Project Evangeline. Yeah, well, little does anyone know, actually. I secretly did my self-portrait this year, Venus. You just... People didn't realize. It was the Halloween project. No one knew. You saw through me. I already did my self-portrait for this year, and y'all didn't believe me. So I did it under the radar. I've drawn just about everyone I know. Sometimes sketches, sometimes bigger pictures. I mean, that's fine. It's if you like doing that, that's awesome. But doing it for clients is differently, or you treat it differently though, because yeah, they can get insane about it. Supposedly. Cool character. Thanks, bro. Lagasp. Yeah. Evangeline Pog. What do I have to offer the mods to delete that emote? What kind of trade offer do you guys need to delete the Evangeline Pog emote? Like, there's got to be something y'all want. You know? I'm a big Twitch streamer now. Shy Lily, Ironmouse, and Vey, and Bow are all subscribed to me. Right? Buy a mod? I add it back? These are compelling offers so far. I know what I want. All right, Blaze. To delete the Evangeline Pog emote forever, to clear it from BTTV, to auto delete it every time it's added to the channel. What do you need? What do you need in exchange? I don't know what Blaze wants, but I want what he wants. All right, what do you and Thorkin want? What do you want two of? One to give to Thorkin. It has something to do with magic cards? No. Anything else I can do it. I can give you a limited edition first draft booster of the Eldara collectible cards. Yep, that's what I can offer you. A first draft booster. I don't know if Thorkin wants it. Don't. Oh God! If you say like running shoes or something, I'm banning you both from the stream. If that's where this is going, I'm just banning both of you and just giving Biz the stream key, and she's the new streamer now. All right. All right, chill, man. If it's a skilled World of Warcraft raid, then Thorkin doesn't need it. He already has it. It's either Magic the Gathering or Warcraft related. Ugh. All right, we got 3 done. We got 3 done. Go to hell for laughing. No, oh shit, Thorkin, it's 10.2 by the way. Or patch 10.2 now. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to get a raid group together, but I kind of want to try. Tell the Deck of Many Things box set. Is that should I make my own Deck of Many Things? My fucking hair stylist, I don't know what to call her. She told me I should make a tarot deck because she like sees my art and stuff. She said that I'd make a really good tarot deck, and I was like, how about Deck of Many Things? And she's like, what's that? And I was like, don't worry about it, you know, right? I don't want it either. Wait, what do you even want? Hairdresser? I don't know. I guess you call them, people call them stylists here, but I feel like that has a different like a different meaning or whatever elsewhere. When I try and think of things like the words to use to call things, I try and figure out what the American word is and also what the European word is for it, and I just try and say both. Because like Canada's somewhere in the middle where we can speak American, we can also speak European. My pally leveled working on the mage. Dude, I'm working on my Og evoker right now, and Og's so good. It's like, I don't know. I want to try it in raid at some point in time. Either way. Fuck, man. This week I got a lot of work to do this week. I got it. So okay, so we're so that's all we're doing today, so that I can stream longer tomorrow, so we can do more requests. So I have to do some things today, and if I get them all done, we can do a nice long stream tomorrow, and we can do a bunch of requests, because I feel like we kind of hit a new level last week. I really enjoyed putting in extra effort into the sketches that were gonna be sketch cards, and I think I want to do that again. Really try and nail down like backgrounds and everything for them. So Discord Nitro, who uses Discord Nitro? Oh shit. Oh wait, I'm still subscribed. God damn it. Those are good ideas. You could do tarot cards as warm-ups because they're kind of abstract to the characters on the cards. Could be crumbs. You want me to do tarot card of crumbs? The Crumb Tower, Crumb Death. Yeah, all right. Blaze will get a set to like read fortunes or whatever. He's the only one who'd appreciate cards anyway. So yes, tomorrow's gonna be requests. It's gonna be requests as always, and they're gonna be awesome and Pog. We have to do a long stream tomorrow because next Friday I won't be live. I will be taking the day off because apparently the mods have come to air their grievances with me in person. And a substantial portion of the moderation team for this channel will be arriving in my city next week, late next week. So I have to deal with that. So they're going to air their grievances. They're going to tell me about all the reasons why they don't want to be mods anymore, and we'll see if I finally release them, if I free them from their mod shackles. So, are you guys going to Banff? Probably. Probably. We're probably going to go to couple mountain towns. I'll take them up to my neck of the woods, I guess, and yeah, I'll probably do that. What else will we do? Probably do some stuff around the city. Probably won't go too far. Actually, we'll probably stay in that general area of you know, Banff to Calgary kind of thing. So they're flying into Calgary. So if they enjoy their shackles, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, so I won't be live next Friday. That'll be the official start of the very first ever Eldaracon. That's right. It'll be Eldaracon 0, the test bed for Eldaracon 1. So I got to make the mods their Eldaracon badges and a goodie bag. So first time here, also local artist for D&D in Calgary. Yo, that's awesome, dude. Welcome. Good to have you. Taking them to Fort McMurray? I'm not taking them to Fort McMurray, bro. I'm not. What do you mean? They want to see the glory and majesty of the Canadian Rockies, and you want me to take them to Fort Mac? If I wanted to show them, like, I don't know, 300-pound dude in flannel with truck nuts on the back of his F-150, I could probably do that anywhere in the U.S. They don't need to come to Canada for that. So no one goes to Fort Mac. Yeah, exactly. We'll just stay in the Calgary, depending on snow, because like I live a little bit closer to the mountains, so it's not that big of a deal. But if we're going deep mountains, we'll probably have to hope for good weather or whatever. But there's so many. I feel like I've met a lot of Albertans recently. So most honored to have you here, Alexa. We know what we want in exchange for removing Evangeline Pog. What do you want in exchange for removing Evangeline Pog? What is it? Name your price. Name your price. I'll take you to the game stores in the city. How about that, Blaze? Will it stays nice until the end of November? I hope so. Eldara waifu cards? Oh, come on, man. You want me to turn all of the Eldara characters into waifus? Shit. I don't know if I can do that. Take them to Centerbox? I used to work at Centerbox, actually, Nick. I used to work at Centerbox for... I talk about how I used to work at a game store for years. I used to work at Centerbox. I used to be... I did all the... So the Centerbox logo and all the branding, the orange dragon and stuff, I did that for them. And yeah, I worked for Centerbox while I was in college. And know the owner really well. He's a super cool guy. Know his daughters really well. They're super sweet. Yeah, I went and I went to GameCon in Calgary a while ago, and it was super nice to see everybody from Centerbox, because I thought that, like, since I hadn't worked there in a couple of years, that I would have, like, they would have all forgotten or whatever. But yeah, I was there before Nick bought the Nick Navratil bought the cards section from the owner, so I did their brand for them as well, whatnot. Centerbox is pretty cool. Last time I went to Centerbox cards, they didn't have the best selection. I think I'm gonna take them down to a couple other game stores in the city. So but yeah, I used to dude, I spent so much of my growing formative life at Centerbox. It's not even funny, man. That was the first, because I started working there while I was in school, and then I worked there like when I got married to Ella, I invited like everybody from Centerbox to our wedding and stuff. It was a pretty nerdy endeavor. But so Eldaracon 1 is going to be held in Calgary, Alberta for Eldaracon 0. That's gonna be the first ever Eldaracon 0. So I think I haven't made the mods buy their tickets yet. Wait, do they know the convention has a door fee? Do they know that I'm pricing Eldaracon like BlizzCon prices BlizzCon? Shit, man, because BlizzCon's 300 USD this year. I gotta charge at least that for Eldaracon for their shitty badges and their goodie bag, because that's all you get. Are you interested in any paid work at the moment? If so, what's the best way to reach you? Talk about it. My commissions are my commissions were supposed to open formally for the first time in like a half a year, because I've been so busy and so overworked with stuff and requested. So they were supposed to open earlier this month, and I didn't formally do so. So actually, Zessie, my commissions are going to be formally open Probably next week I'll be making an official post about it. But Discord's the best place usually. Discord DMs. Otherwise, I usually check Discord DMs and Twitter DMs as well. So those are good places to go. But you know, if it's I occasionally once in a blue moon check my Twitch DMs. But yeah, that's about it. So yeah, Discord's the best place. Is the ticket the steaks? Yeah, you pay $300 and I'll go and buy you guys nice steaks. Does Eldaricon have a website? No, there's no official Eldaricon yet. This is we're just kind of memeing, but Eldaricon, we did talk about doing a official Eldaricon for the new announcements and a release party for the adventure in Banff actually next year. So this year's just kind of a meme, but next year there was plans for doing Eldaricon in Banff, because the problem is I don't want to make anybody fly to Calgary. Calgary sucks. Right? I don't even know why the mods want to come to... The mods want to see the mountains where I live. They don't want to go to Calgary. They don't want to see Edmonton. They don't want to see none of that shit or whatever. Take her to the Calgary Comic Expo. I mean, there's a good chance that Ella will be at the Calgary Comic Expo with doing dice things. So if she has a booth there. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to it regardless. The first... That's why this is Eldaricon 0, because it's a meme. But Eldaricon 1... is going to be a whole thing. We're for sure going to be at GameCon and Edmonton Expo. Yeah. Ugh, God, I don't want to go back to Edmonton. Drive to Red Deer? I don't. What do you mean? What are they showing in Red Deer? We're driving to Red Deer just to get some donut mill and drive back? Can I just go out to Bragg? Way less busy, closer to home. That's true, actually. Yeah, Bragg Creek's nice. Actually, maybe we should. Because that's like closer to me. Then I don't know. Donut Mill. We're not going to Donut Mill, Ella. Stop. We go to Cochrane. We're not. What is there to do in Cochrane? Also, people don't think that's a real place. What we're not going. Come on, man. There's no cool. The only small city we're going to go to in the middle of winter with the mods potentially in Alberta is Vulcan, because Sir Cobalt is a Star Trek geek. That's the only reason why. He is in fact a Trekkie. He has multiple bridge command staff uniforms from all sorts of different various eras of Star Trek. And that's about the only reason we go anywhere outside of the Calgary to like Golden area. There's a Nordic Spa just open in Cochrane. Oh, really? There's one in Kananaskis that I was thinking about taking them to the Kananaskis lodge, but I'm not sure. Either way, I gotta do some stuff today, so that's gotta be the. We're gonna end stream there. So I'll be live tomorrow for requests, and I'm finishing some stuff up today, so that tomorrow we can stream long and do a nice big juicy stream of requests and see what kind of cool ideas that y'all have. So I will catch you all tomorrow. I don't know, man. Go play some Warcraft. Like what are we still doing here, bro? Go play some Warcraft. It's the middle of the day. It's like 1 in the afternoon. Thank you, Alexa, for the art. Or Alexa does nerd stuff. For the follow, I appreciate having a fellow artist always in here. That's what I was trying to say. So, yeah, you know what? Actually, all y'all, I'm going to give y'all permission. If you're at work right now, I'm going to give you permission to take the rest of the day off. Cool. There you go, man. Play some World of Warcraft, have some fun, do whatever. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll have a good time. It'll be sick. And until next time, my friends. Farewell. We're not going to Red Deer. Goddamn.